Hey, Coach. This is Robert. What goes into choosing the right job? So I know you've been at multiple schools and you've had a ton of success. So what goes into choosing the right job?
I think it's what you're looking for. As a young assistant, you look for the best programs, and as your profession, as a professional, you start going to gravitating towards the better athletes and the better programs. A lot of times in coaching and in education, it's opportunity. To become a head coach in the state of Texas, you're one of about 1,100 guys out of 15,000 that are getting the opportunity, to call yourself a head football coach. So a lot of times it's just opportunities when they arise. And, you going in and building a good program and doing things right, good things happen to good people, you know.
Coach, I'm gonna go off. What do you think most guys want to be on a great as assistant on a great staff, or the head guy on a program that's, let's say they weren't so good before you came in. So you can go be top assistant at North Shore, or I'm not gonna say another name, but an 0-10 program from last year. You can be the head coach there. What do you think most guys would like to do?
You see all types now, Roy. I think in today's society, a lot of guys, a lot of young coaches want it now. And, sometimes you got to build that reputation and you got to build that resume. And, something we talk about is, you got to have some skins on the wall. And, you need to be a part of some high caliber programs. And I'm not saying that if you're not, at a North Shore or Katy or all that, you're not the best, coach around. Because there's a lot of great coaches out there. There's a lot of great coaches in Texas high school football. And not everybody's fortunate enough to win state championships, but, people notice when you're doing things right, when you're doing it for the right reasons. But to answer your question, I can tell you what Lance Carter would think. Lance Carter would think, it's people enjoy winning. People enjoy being around a winner. But at some point, you want to, blaze your own trail. And that happened to me. I had probably one of the greatest assistant. I was an offensive coordinator at Lamar, Texas, and I had one of the greatest jobs ever put on this earth. They took care of me, and I was well compensated for what I did. But there came a time at 16, 17 years in that I wanted to be the head coach. I wanted to call the shots, and you got to take what opportunities come there.
Hey, Coach. Do you think the new schools hurt or help football in the Houston area?
I think it's different, and then I gave a lot of thought to this. Um, at times, it can water down your talent pool, but you're always going to see it come back full circle. When I thought about this question, the team that came to mind was Cy-Fair. Ed Pajowski and Cy-Fair High School do it about as well as anybody around. And when Cy Woods opened, it pretty much cut their enrollment in half, and it really gutted Cy-Fair. And it took them a couple of years to come back and to kind of rebound with their enrollment numbers. And the program took back over. So I don't think it hurts, but you got to think about what you're playing also. At the state level, you got some super schools out there when you get up around your Planos and Allens and them that are 5,000, 6,000 plus. And, I can tell you in Katy, our dream enrollment would be about 3,000 cap for each high school. And, so we keep growing, and, we're opening up number 9 this year and number 10 probably in the next 4 to 5 years. And, it's to keep numbers down around that 3,000 number. Um, you go to a Frisco ISD type setting where they want to be 5A. They do not want to be 6A up there in Murderers Row with Allen and the Planos and Coppell and all them. So they just keep building schools. What started out as a 3A high school, whenever I was at Texas City and Lamarck in those years, is now 6 or 8 5A high schools because that side of Dallas has just exploded. I don't think it's a bad thing, because it gives kids opportunities also. And that's what this is all about. This is about giving kids opportunities to play. And the more kids and the more, coaches we have out there, touching kids' hearts and getting them involved in sports, the better off we are in today's society.
So that kind of leads right into the next question. With that, since I've been, watching like high school football close, it seems like Katy's always got a new school, always got, Morton Ranch, Tompkins, all of these schools are popping up out there. How is Katy able to sustain that success with all of those schools popping up?
I think one thing that they have is they got great tradition. Tremendous coaching staff, like everybody we have in Katy ISD. I would put our coaches up against anybody in the state of Texas as a district as a whole. But Katy, there is nothing like tradition, and when you've got it sustained and you've got it built, and the community holds. It's kind of a different kind of setting where you have a 6A program that is in a mega district like Katy ISD, but they hold on to those small town standards, and they hold the kids to a different standard, and that's what everybody builds for and wants. We saw it at Lamarck. I saw it at Texas City. I saw it at Jasper, Texas. When you're that one horse town, but when you can do it and you're in the middle of a super district like ours, that's a very different thing.
Why were you so invested in your players' success? What drove you to be that way?
I would have to say for myself was just a fear of failure. I had it as a player, and felt like I had to outwork everybody around. I tried to get my players to buy into the same, mentality. And I mean, you can go back and you can look at Roy sitting there at 300 pounds right now, and he played at 300 pounds in college. And you guys had EJ on a couple of weeks ago, and I was blessed to coach those two. Well, I can tell you this. All 5 of them didn't look like that. The other ones were 200 pounds, 185 pounds, 195 pounds. And, to get those guys to believe and to buy in, I had to buy in, and I had to buy into them. And, it was kind of a magic formula whenever I went to Texas City, because it happened that very first year I was there. And, I can remember walking out on the field, and Coach Rusty Dowling, I think you guys have had him on the show. That's my mentor. And, he and I are walking out to the practice field, and he says, we could be pretty special this year. It's going to depend on what you do with that offensive line, and that kind of, makes you straighten up a little bit, and what Coach Finn does with the linebackers, because those guys need the most work. And we went in and we started grinding, and we took on a mentality like no other. And just, coaching's about getting kids to buy into what you're doing and to play above themselves. And if you do happen to coach those great athletes, is getting them above what they believe, because kids will go to their comfort level. A great coach will get them above that comfort level and bash through a comfort level, because they're going to want to get to that comfort level, and they're going to want to stop because it gets uncomfortable. You got to get a kid to love being uncomfortable. And I felt like I kind of had the niche for that.
So when you think about that, Coach, what advice do you have for players and parents? Because everybody right now is not able to be coached like these kids probably can't take the Coach Carter that I seen, right? Not a lot of these kids. These kids seem to me, the ones that I see, are a lot softer than the kids that how we were. I don't know. Maybe I'm just setting my mind set, but I feel like the kids, like in general, like not all of them, but for the most part, it's a different type of kid that you see. What advice do you have for parents and the kids these days to try to get them, out of those mindsets? If you understand that was a lot.
Number one, all kids will want to be coached. They might buck you, they might fight it. They want to be coached, and that's the my best advice that I could give parents is allow coaches to coach those kids. This is not. We're not here to get them scholarships. We're here to make them the very best they can possibly be. That's our one job, and allow them to coach. I see too much in today's society. The checkbook, pushes too many things. We have strength coaches, you have speed coaches, you have stretch coaches, you have 7-on-7 coaches, you have all this. You have every bit of that on every high school campus in the state of Texas. The state of Texas, I'm on all kinds of sheets and boards with other things around the nation. Texas is unique. It is so unique that we have professional football coaches that's what they do. They're educators and they're football coaches. They're certified by the state of Texas. They're certified by the Texas High School Coaches Association. This is their profession. Other states, you got guys in law enforcement that coach on the side. You got guys that are plumbers that coach on the side, and the coaches and the schools bring them in. We can never lose our foothold on what we have in the state of Texas. Athletic periods, all those things are what makes Texas high school football great. And you saw it in this year's NFL draft. I believe 36 guys were drafted from the state of Texas. That's incredible. That was phenomenal what they did. But parents, allow your kids to be coached. My advice to parents, one big one that's kind of heavy on my heart is allow kids to play as many sports as possible. You learn so many different skills from every sport. Yes, you might be a great football player and that might be your gig, but let them play baseball, let them play basketball, let them run track, because you're learning a different skill set from every one of those. And if you can take that and well-round that kid to make him the best athlete possible, mission accomplished. It's these kids that are going year-round football, year-round baseball, year-round basketball. I disagree with that. I think kids need to play as many sports as possible for as long as you possibly can.
So with that being said, should linemen go to track or powerlifting after school? After football, I'm sorry.
The best thing linemen can do, never discourage them from competing. And you guys, you gave me track and you gave me powerlifting, two great ones, coached them both. Don't ever forget about basketball, because the guy you had on, 2 years ago, last week, that was my fat basketball player, was EJ Whitley. EJ was great and was light on his feet and all that from playing basketball. It wasn't from track, it wasn't from all that. So don't pigeonhole those guys into, you need to go throw the shot or you need to go lift. If they can play it and they're getting better running up and down the court, let them go do it. Let them go compete. Powerlifting, there's never going to be a bad thing ever said out of my mouth about powerlifting. I was knee deep in it for years. I was a regional director down here for 12 years. Those kids getting to go compete and get this bigger, faster, stronger, that made them better for football. So I was all for it.
I asked that question in there because Coach Carter used to give me hell about going to track.
Yeah.
Instead of getting in the weight room.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, it was a travesty allowing you and EJ to throw the shot in the disc. There was nothing like watching, two big, giant Division I offensive linemen throw it 42 feet. That depressed me. And then, whenever I look out there, because I was that guy, I was like the weight room Nazi. I was crazy. If you walked out of the weight room without getting my workout in, it was going to be a fist fight. And I'm going to track practice. I got to go to track practice. And I'd look out there and their track coach, one of my dear, dear friends, Jerry Cantor, Coach Cantor. I'd look out there and Cantor's laying in the grass and him and Roy and EJ are throwing, and I'm just almost puking my mouth screaming at them to get back in the weight room. Oh, it killed me. It hurt my heart to watch them throw.
Okay, Coach Cantor was the easiest track coach in the world, man. I don't know if I learned one thing about throwing a shot. Hey, I did pretty good at discus after I took it seriously on my own, but man, we were out there just messing around pretty much for 3 years, just messing around at track practice. Shout out Coach Cantor though, man, for giving us a break.
Amen. A great guy, great coach, great D-line coach.
Coach Carter, could anybody get you right now to go coach on the sideline? What would it take?
Letting me down there on the 7th and 8th grade sidelines to coach my kids more with Luke and Adam. I love what I do, and I'll never say never, but I love what I do. I have the ability now to help about 600 coaches every day, and be that guy for them. And at this stage in my career, we need to grow coaches. That's our job as older coaches. We got to grow coaches. And we got to make them and give them the tools to make them the very best that they can be, because in the end, kids benefit, and that's what you get in this profession for, is to be able to touch kids and to touch kids' hearts and be able to change their lives. There's nothing better that I get any pleasure out of than my old players contacting me, just like Roy. And through the years, that are great parents now, that have great careers, and they learned a little something from us, and there's a lot of great staffs out there that are doing right by kids. And I just go back to what I was saying earlier about coaches, parents just allowing their kids to be coached, because it's different now. It's different. It is different. Roy, you hit on it earlier. I can remember, Karen Carter. I played for a very hard coach my junior year in high school, and, everybody was bailing out on him. And, I'm 15, 16 years old. I'm going to follow suit with everybody else. I'm not going to practice. I'm going to quit like everybody else. My mom said, good, get in the car. You're going up there and you're going to quit face to face. You're not going to be a coward. Damn. Pull up to the field house. All right, Mom, I'll see you after. Because my mom was not going to allow, my mother was not going to allow me to do that. Not my father, my mother. And that changed my life. How much different would my life be today? But that coach made a difference in my life. My coaches throughout my high school and college career made a difference in my life. And we as parents today, in today's society, you have to allow them to make a difference in your kids' lives. And that's a big charge. That's a big charge.
Man, Coach, I got a similar story. Mike Jackson. Mike Jackson, and I don't know if it was Coach Sensat or somebody got into it at practice. We were in 7th grade. Me and Mike Jackson were, best friends back. We played Little League all together. We were going to 7th grade together. We, whatever Mike does, Roy does. Whatever Roy does, Mike does. So Mike gets into it with the coaches, and he quits. He walks off. I'm going home. I'm like, if Mike quits, I quit. I walk home. So I lived on the other end of Texas City. I'm talking about probably 30 blocks. So I walk all the way home, and when I get there, my mom's sitting on the porch, and she looks at her watch. What time? Why are you here? Football's practice not over. I quit. She was like, you did what? I said, I quit. I ain't playing football no more. She's like, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to walk your ass back to Blocker Middle School. You're going to tell the coach you won't be back on the team. And if you're not on the team, when you walk back, I'm going to tear your ass up. So that day I learned, ain't going to be no quitting. And I learned it hard because I walked about 90 blocks. And then I had to go stand in front of the coach's face and ask my way back on the team. And after I think I did 150 up downs, I was back, I was able to be back on the team. Damn. But, I don't think we have parents like that these days. Parents will let their kids decide and dictate to them what they're going to do and what they want to do. And, the coach is too tough or this is too tough, so they allow them to quit and they allow them to do stuff like that. And I don't know why that is or where we adopted that. But, man, back then I used to hate it that my mom was so tough on me. But, now I realize that made me better. And it's touching on the point of coaches. Like some kids like me, when I got to practice, I had a few male role models, but most of my male role models were football coaches, right? So growing up, Little League, middle school, so when I didn't like a coach, that was a different thing for me because that's my role. Like, that is the guy I look to, right? That's the male I look. It's me and my mom and my sister mostly. So, when me and the coach don't get along, there's my male role model for that year, right? Yeah. So getting somebody like Coach Carter, me and Coach Carter were like, I was never there was a point to I can say that I did not like Coach Carter from day one.
Yeah.
Right? He had that presence. I didn't like that he made me play offensive line, but he had that presence from day one.
I think it worked out pretty good, though.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good, man.
Saw it. No, but that's the truth. And I mean, it all comes down. It's tough love, and we as a society got to accept it, and allow our kids, to be loved in a tough way. And I think that's a big part of it today. Is we have allowed kids, but you think about it, and I discuss a lot of this stuff with my wife, and my wife brought something up one day. This right here is the biggest thing that's changed kids. That's their out. Their out are cell phones and the things that we didn't have, you didn't have back in the day. And I mean, we're talking about, you're still a young man, and you didn't have that type of stuff. You didn't have that distraction, the multimedia distraction, that the kids have now. We sit here and we monitor Twitter and that type of stuff a lot. It drives me insane to see what kids put out there, because everybody's got to be first. Everybody's got to, any good deed you do, they have to put it on social media. You don't have to put it on social media. You got to have it. It's between you and God, if you're doing something good. And that's the world we're living in right now. You said something earlier about parents. Another big piece of that is the youth sports. And we need to educate our youth coaches also. And for years, I mean, I look over and watch youth guys, practicing, on fields beside me at the junior high, and I've got high school kids. I've got seniors in high school on the field. And I'll look over there and I'll go, those guys will never make it to this field, because those coaches and what they're making them do will run them off. They'll devalue football. They'll make football too violent, where, they're not doing smart things with the kids, to prepare them. And, I'd look over there and I'd see, what do you do in youth football? Where are the big, thick, heavy kids going? You're going to the line. You got to go play line. And I'd look over there and youth coaches got 7, 8, 9-year-olds bear crawling up and down the field. Hell, Roy, I couldn't have done that with you at 17, 18 years old. That would have been misery. And I look over, and so we have to do smart by them, as coaches also, as youth coaches, of getting them to the middle school and getting them to the high school, so they don't go, hell, baseball's easier. This select basketball, AAU basketball, that's easier. Them coaches are doing silly stuff with us. So we got to be smart as coaches also, and protect these kids. We have to protect this sport. We have to protect the game. Right now, I will say this 100% in my heart. Football is as safe now as it's ever been. From what, the Adibus training system and the Adibus tackling system that we use for Texas high school coaches, and what we're teaching across the board that takes the head out of the game. All the terms that guys my age, learn, bite the football, lead with the screws, all that. That's a thing of the past. That's not part of your verbiage anymore. Texas high school football, junior high football, what the coaches are teaching across the board makes this game safer than it's ever been.
Yeah, I agree.
Got up on my soapbox for a minute.
I always say that I feel like we are, as the youth coaches, we're the gatekeepers of the sport. Because we don't, whatever goes to the middle school is what we sent to the middle school. I feel like the kids that I coach, if they go to middle school and they're terrible, is more my fault than it is the middle school coach's fault, because I've had them since they were 6, 7 years old, and they're taking the habits that I've put into them, and they're taking that to middle school. I hate it when coaches try to teach cut block. They just make the kids cut block, and they don't try to teach them the right way to cut, right? They just teach them to roll on the ground.
It's about development, Roy. At the youth level, it is about development, and too many times you guys have seen it across, at the tournaments you go to and the leagues you're in, too many coaches put value on W's. instead of what are these kids learning about the game of football. It's about developing skills at a youth level. That's what youth football is about. It's not about wins and losses. It's not about what kind of sublimated jersey you have. It's about what you're teaching those kids that they're going to carry to the next level. And then the junior high level, it's the same. What are you teaching those kids that they're going to carry to the high school level?
I agree with that.
I agree, man. Well, Coach, I could talk to you all day, but we were 30 minutes late. We got Bryan Kegans coming on next. He's OU strength coach. I know you know Kegans.
I know Kegans, man. I love the guy. Love him.
So we're gonna call him up, man, because we're supposed to call him at 8:30. I appreciate the call, man. We're gonna try to get you on during the season, man, and let you talk to us some more as when the season comes. We're not gonna speak that no season stuff. Once
that COVID gets gone, man, I need to get down there and get in studio.
Yeah, we got to get one of those good Coach Carter stories. Coach Carter's going to tell you the best stories ever.
I got some good
He's got 100 stories, so we're going to get one of those Coach Carter stories, man, and get you down here. Robert, go ahead, Robert, make your pitch.
So I always make my pitch, Coach, and trying to get us out there. That way we can go cover some of the Katy games. Maybe you can get us some press passes or sideline passes.
Man, I got the most beautiful stadium in all of Houston. I would love to have you guys. You guys are my guest anytime you would like.
Awesome. I've never been. I've heard so much about it. I can't wait.
It's a beauty.
All right, Coach. We appreciate your time.
Hey,
we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right, Coach.
Yes, sir. All right, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, there you go. We're going to Katy.
Hey, now Coach Carter can definitely get you in the. He can get you into wherever you want to be.
You kind of put me on the spot right there.
Hey, now you're talking to the right guy, Coach Carter. I think he does the tours of Katy Stadium.
Really?
Like he's over all of that stuff.
Wow.
So, you
have you been?
I haven't been.
Good interview, man. Good interview. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Chaz Thompson in the building right now. We also got Andre. Andre, you want to put your you can put your headphones on, but I think I turned your.
Oh, I got it off fire. There you go.
We're gonna do a couple more interviews, and then we're gonna focus on you guys.
We can. Coach is waiting on us, man. We got the OU strength coach. We've gotten so fancy over here that we can make OU strength coach wait on us.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's how important we are right now. That's how important we are, man. We got the OU strength coach just waiting for us to call him, man.
It's gonna go to the phone, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do it on the phone. But yeah, man. So me and this coach, he was EJ's roommate. So EJ from last week.
Okay.
EJ in college and went to Tech. He also went to Stephenville. So I'll tell y'all before they put it on here. It's like 3rd and 1 or something. They're on the 1 yard line. And I'm playing nose guard. First game of the season. I'm out of shape.
He puts you on your ass, right?
No, they didn't put me on my ass. But they triple teamed me. They drove me pretty much out of the end zone, man. But it was 3 of them.
Hey,
man.
at least acknowledge it.
All 3 Division I players.
It happens.
It doesn't. Ain't 3 tomato cans couldn't do it. It was 3 Division I. 2. One of them went to Army. One of them ended up coming to U of H. One of them went, and the other 2 went to Tech.
Oh, that's
so
cool,
yeah, they got a hold of me. But I got my licks back, right?
Yeah.
And we won, so it don't matter. So before he gets to tell that story, I'll tell it first.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Coach?
What's going on?
Hey, man, sorry about the delay, man. We're the Russians hacked our podcast today. That's what we're going with.
No worries.
How you doing,
Coach?
Good.
Good to have you on, man. My name is Robert.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yes, sir. You too.
Hey, before you called in, I told him, I said, I'm going to get this out of the way so he can't tell it. I'll tell it. About the time when we were playing against each other and you, Doty, and the other guard drove me in the back of the end zone on the goal line. So I got that out of the way.
This whole time, I hadn't even thought about that game. I forgot all about
it. You forgot all about Doty brought it up. We had Doty on here. We've had Coach Browse on here too. So man, this is kind of the Stephenville show, kind of. We got all the Stephenville guys, but Doty brought it up right. I had forgotten about it, and Doty was like, "Oh, you gonna bring this up?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I thought he was talking about something from school, and he was like, "Oh, the game." And I was like, "Oh man, I forgot. I wasn't even gonna do you like that, Doty."
The only thing I remember is what our receiver did to TL's boy James Fitch, and I just talked to Fitch the other day, and he cracked back on him, and it was not a good deal for James. But
No. I'm telling you, man, that game ruined the rest of our season. Sometimes I wish we never played that game.
No, I agree. I don't think we should have. I think it was two big powerhouses, and we were both coming off incredible seasons the year before, and I'm with you on that one.
They do it all the time now, but man, I feel like if we didn't play that game, our season goes. I think we left that game with like 7 or 8 injuries. Like we left the game. We won the battle, but we lost the war. Well, I don't know how that goes. I don't know which one we won. If you win the game, do you win the? I don't know. We won one of them and we lost the other one because we were all in. I spent that night in the hospital.
Y'all definitely won the game.
Yeah, we won the game. I spent that night in the hospital because Scott Lee kneed me in the head. I dropped to a knee, and Scott Lee was pursuing the ball, and as he pursued the ball, his knee came across my helmet, dude. I spent the night in San Antonio Hospital. So yeah, that was a good game.
Were y'all at the Alamo Dome?
Yeah, we was at.
Okay, I remember you telling me about that.
But Coach, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, Bryan Kegans, strength conditioning coach at the University of Oklahoma. Right now, director of sports science and assistant director of sports performance with football. Got a long history in Texas high school football. That's where most of my career has taken place. Coaching online, strength and conditioning, doing both. Did a really short stint at University of Texas in 2013 before Coach Brown stepped down, and we all had to find new places to go. I had the opportunity to go to another university, and I chose to go back to the high school setting, and that's kind of where I've been. I grew up in a little town here in Oklahoma called Chickasha, so this is kind of coming home for me a little bit. Not necessarily home, but it's where I grew up. And then I went to high school and played ball in Stephenville during those special years with Coach Browse, and played ball at Texas Tech, and from 01 to 05, and it's been getting it since then.
So how do you end up coaching strength and conditioning and not being an O-line coach?
Really, I most of my career, I was telling a recruit this just the other day. Still to this day, I have more years as an O-line coach / strength coach than I do as a full-time strength coach. But I always liked the strength and conditioning aspect, just a little bit more the mental aspect. Like, all you had to do in the weight room to win was work your tail off. You could work your tail off. You could do this, and you were somebody, and you were somebody special. It never came down to talent or just genetic gifts. It came down to guts and hard work. And for me, that always struck a different chord. And I liked that because it didn't matter who you were. All the fun and respect didn't go to the genetically gifted guy over there. It went to everybody, even, from the walk on to the nobody. If you went in there and you went to work, you were somebody special in there. And I just love that environment. And that's, I respected it at the time that me and you were playing. It was kind of a new field still, and didn't know much about it. And it's not, it's definitely not what it is today, but I knew that's what I wanted to do. I just didn't know how I was going to get there.
Man, off topic, but I can tell that weight room is a big deal in Stephenville. We got Browse, and we got a bunch of Stephenville guys, and the weight room aspect of it was crazy. With the after, with the the coaches in there working out with you. It wasn't like that before with my other. We had a hell of a weight program, but our coach wasn't about to get under no weight and squat with you and lift weights with you. Coach Browse would get in there and lift weights, the same time as us. So you can tell that the culture of the weight room was a big deal for at Stephenville, like when they came in.
Yeah. It was a really big deal, and it was a major player in just who we were, to the point of, like, you come home for Christmas break in college, and the first question we all asked each other is like, you get your lift in, or are you going to get your lift in? And it was just hammered into you. And I think back to those times now, and I don't even know how some of us were even healthy, because it was just nonstop, 2-3 times a day of working out or getting in the weight room and doing our thing. and we just beat everybody by hard work. And you can't really do that anymore because the hard work is still hard work, but people have gotten a heck of a lot smarter about the way they do things. And so you better work hard and you better do it smart nowadays. But back then it was just grind and get it. But that work ethic and those coaches working with us. And then when I got to Tech and got around my boss now, he was my strength coach at the time, Benny Wiley. It was the same deal. Here's this guy, he was running with us, and it was everything that I'd already come to know with Coach Browse and my old line coach, just constantly grinding with us, lifting with us, and it was just natural for the coach to be in there with us.
Hey, Coach, how bittersweet is it when you guys play Tech? I know it's gotta hit home in some sort of way.
It's I don't know, the bands play and you're like, oh yeah, it strikes a chord with you. But the competitor in you wants to win. Like at the end of the day, like, oh, it's the fight song and it brings back memories and okay, game started and I hope we beat their face in. Okay. You know what I mean? Because I feed my kids by this stuff. You know what I mean? So, it's all great and fun at the time, and I respect it, and I'll always be a Red Raider, no matter where I work at. I mean, that's my school. That's where I went to school, but right now, it's for me, it's Boomer Sooner. And so when we line up, and play against Texas Tech, I want to win, and I want to win bad. But every other game for the rest of the season, of course, I'm still pulling for them.
Do you pull for the Longhorns? I'm a Longhorn fan. I'm kidding.
No, I do not pull for the Longhorns ever.
That saddens me, but it's all good.
Hey, that makes probably a million of us that don't pull for the Longhorns ever. I don't know that anybody who went to college in Texas, anywhere but UT, that pulls for the Longhorns. Like we all universally hate Texas.
Why
like
though?
I don't know. It's just that way, and that's the way it's got to be. It can't change anytime soon. So looking at the draft, man, you guys always send a bunch of guys high on the draft. Shout out to the Cowboys taking some OU players. How does that feel, man? Knowing that you seen those guys come in as young guys, and now they're living out their dreams, and you you help them.
It's pretty special. It's all them, man. We get to work with them. You get to offer your advice. You get to have your time with them. You get to train them, and at the end of the day, they put the time in, and they're the ones that deserve the recognition, and it's just neat. And there's some situations where, I never thought I would get to coach a guy that was going to be drafted in the first round of the NFL or a Heisman Trophy winner and things like that, but. And it's neat to think about, and you can have that pinch yourself moment, but those moments don't last very long because you realize that you better get your butt back to work, because if you don't keep having those moments, then you're not going to get to stay here very long.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, so I didn't even think about that, man.
Yeah.
You got back to back.
You got to go produce the next superstar.
You got back-to-back number one picks, and then this year you got a bunch of first-round guys. But from a coaching standpoint, it's like, okay, which guy can I create next?
Yeah, it's like, oh great, it happened. Congratulations. Let's go get another one.
Who's
That's
here?
Good. That's a good mindset.
Yeah.
But when you think about stuff like that, when you think about like next season, how do you replace a guy? Like how do you find that guy? You can't replace those guys, right? How do you motivate the guy in the weight room to work like that guy? Is it just as easy as saying, hey, look, this guy was the number one pick. If you work like this, you'll be the number one pick? Or is it, at U of H, we didn't have any number one picks, so you couldn't throw that around, right?
Right.
How do you use that to motivate guys?
Yeah, a little bit. And it goes back to the Coach Saban has talked about it. If this is what you want to do, you really don't have any choices, because these are the things that you're going to have to do to get that done. And so we sell it, and we don't talk about it a lot, to those guys. And in the weight room, this is our standard. We talk about that a lot, and this is how we're going to operate. And if you want to be that guy, then you're going to have to come in and do the extra stuff that guy did. And maybe that good enough isn't going to be good enough next year, and those kinds of things like that. So we constantly talk to those guys, and we constantly make ourselves available to make sure that they're able to do that work should they, want to do it. We're always there. We're always available for them to come in a weight room, put that work in, and see how that works out for them.
Hey, Coach, so going back to when you played, the players that you played against, what's the difference between those guys like Roy versus the kids nowadays that you have to get in the weight room with and coach? What's the biggest difference?
They're bigger, faster, stronger. They're crazy athletic. I look at some of these kids now, and I'm like, I don't even know how I, used to play with these guys and at that level.
Yeah.
You watch them do what they do, and I'm just amazed by it, and they're just more skilled these days because there's so much more. And I know you can attest to this, right? When we were coming up, there was no personal trainer just for O-line. You know what I mean? It was you learn kind of as you go. These kids come in and they've been working O-line skills since they were 8. And they're dang good at it. And pass rushers that have been so technically groomed that, I wouldn't stand a chance against them, and so you have a lot of really technical sound kids that show up ready to go right out of the gate. And it comes down to just physical development and continuing to get those skills that they have already and hone those skills. And they're just more developed mentally, physically, for the most part. And they've been taught better from the ground up than I think I ever was.
Man, that's crazy. That's the the big thing right now is LeBron versus Jordan and all that. That's the big time argument right now. And like I've been arguing the exact opposite of what you're saying like right now because I feel like. But you brought up a good point saying that these kids have trainers because that's something we never had. I remember my first O-line coach taught me to block with my forearms and my fists together. So you were terrible. He taught you to be terrible. But you just naturally stronger than everybody. But, like, I argue that argument, like with LeBron. I'm like, LeBron is super athletic, but it's basketball. I feel like in basketball, those guys are way more athletic, but in some ways they don't take time to learn other aspects of the game because they're more athletic. I feel like, there's less – and maybe, like, your point brings a good point because maybe because I'm so athletic, I don't have to run so many pick-and-roll plays. I don't have to run – all of this, I don't have to do things a certain way because we're more athletic and we can just, kind of run up and down the court, spread the court out, shoot the ball. So that's a different way of looking at it. I never even thought about it like that. I do look at these kids. I went to U of H last year, and there's 4 linemen that are like 6'7", 6'6", and they all got 6-packs. And I'm like, dude, I was in this same weight room working out. Where did my 6-pack go? Like how? Why didn't I didn't get one. I don't know. But these guys, the linemen look totally different. You look at the linemen who are drafted, they run 4.85, they run 5.1. It's like, where are these guys coming from? But that's right. They're bigger, they're bigger, taller, faster. So I don't know, man. I don't know what they're growing, how they're growing the food, but it's definitely different than what I was eating. And what
if they need an answer, like, how do I take a pass set? Well, let me just type this on the information superhighway here and get a gazillion videos on it. I mean, there's like LaCharles Bentley got a website dedicated solely to offensive linemen. There's just nothing like that coming up. If you wanted to know what to eat, my idea of a healthy lunch was a ham sandwich. The information wasn't there. You know what I mean? And these kids have all the information they could ever want.
Hey, Coach, so we have a personal trainer in the studio right now, along with our student athlete. What advice would you have for personal trainers?
Just, I don't know, just to get in touch with their coaches, make sure that what you're doing coincides with what they're doing. I'm not saying you got to do the same things by any means, but it creates a really good relationship. And I think if on both ends, the coach and the trainer will have so much more respect for each other if, it's like, okay, I know you did this at practice today, so we're going to do this today. And it tells that kid that, like, oh, you really are looking out for me. I've had that conversation. I'm aware of what you're doing and where you're at. And it's just opening those lines of communication, because you don't want a kid to have, done, 3 sets of 10 heavy in the weight room on squat and then come in and do another lower body session, and not trusting the kid's word for it, but knowing that because, you have had that conversation with that coach. And I think that's the biggest thing, is just having communication between trainers and their sport coaches helps quite a bit.
So, I think like you guys that are coaching now, like right when we got out of school, that seemed like this thing was starting to take off, like the personal training stuff and all of that. And some of my friends that were starting to coach then, they hated it, man. They were like, man, the parents won't bring the kids to workouts because they take them to the personal. I think it's changed a lot these days.
Yeah,
I think there's
absolutely.
a lot more respect in it. But at the beginning of it, man, it was like personal trainer versus coaches, man. So I think, we got one of the better guys in here right now, man. Former Division I athlete, professional athlete, like, so guys who know what it takes to be successful, trying to groom kids. But so you talked about lifting weights. At what age do you think is smart to start letting a kid do weights?
When they can walk. No, the way I look at weight training, man, is it doesn't always have to be heavy. The cool thing about weight training is you can groove those athletic patterns. The minute that they can understand and mimic you can start grooming athletic patterns. If you want your kid to be an Olympic weightlifter and grow up and win the gold medal, then you better put a little PVC pipe in his hand and start teaching him those movements early. So in my mind, weight training can start as young as you want it to be, and start working those patterns, those squat patterns, those single leg squat patterns, lunge patterns, and those things like that can start as early as you want. Just because I started weightlifting doesn't mean I gotta blow them up. I don't have to put 90% of some squat max on there and all this kind of stuff. I can groove those things into them until they become second nature. And when the time comes, around high school, it's then we can really start loading and let testosterone take over from some of these kids. And when I give clinics and talks and things like that, I always talked about this concept of slow cooking, and I tell the guys, like, if I put a brisket in the oven for an hour, it's not going to be very good. But if I cook that thing all day long, we're going to have ourselves a good brisket. And the same thing with athletes. If you go in there and you grind them down for 3 or 4 months, like, they may look all right, but it's not going to be good for the long run. So we slow cook them and then take your time with it. And we have that long-term athletic development. And that's how you don't burn them out. And that's how you really, develop these kids into something special without hurting them and taking care of them mentally as well.
Last question, Coach. So I played against OU one time. I know you got 4 opportunities. Did y'all ever beat OU?
We beat them once in 2005.
Okay, so you got one. I didn't. I wasn't so lucky. I got Adrian Peterson in 2004, and that wasn't pretty. But what makes us? So I was there. We played in OU, and we were down there in our end zone. They played Flight of the Bumblebee while we were warming up. That crap was so annoying. Like, I don't think you could concentrate on warming up because it was like the loudest Flight of the Bumblebee you ever heard, and it was like the most sensitive like aggravation ever, right? Like I felt like they were trying to aggravate us, but I didn't really know because it just seemed like they were playing Flight of the Bumblebee. But that's not what I want to ask. What makes OU OU? You've been at Texas, you've been at Tech, now you're at OU. What makes OU? How do you sustain this ability to be great year in and year out? What makes that college what it is?
I can only speak to the last 2 years that I've been here. But this is OU, the University of Oklahoma, in Norman, Oklahoma, and this is not just job talk, has been the most at home, like I'm where I'm supposed to be feeling I've had in a really long time. The only other one was my first job in Texas at a high school in Texas, and that's what gets the players here. That's what I think continues, is because it feels like home. The people here have been here a long time. If you've been at the University of Oklahoma for 10 years, you're just getting started. Because everybody in the administration has been here for so long, then they make you feel at home. And so when I go to work, I get to work at, this Power 5 monster of a university. But when I step off campus and I come home, I live on the best neighborhood street I've ever lived on, with neighbors that, I literally walked across the street when you called from hanging out and talking to them. And that's what makes it really special. Is the town of Norman, Oklahoma. The university in itself is awesome, and it just feels like home, and I don't know how else to explain it. And I think that's what, and you hear a lot of the kids talk about the same thing, and when they come on their visits, they say that, it's like it just felt right. It just felt like home. And then not to mention when you walk in those places and you see conference championships from like 1918, when I walk into the indoor and I see 7 national championships, or I walk in here and there's fixing to be, there's 5 Heisman Trophy statues out there. There's fixing to be 2 more. And you're like, it's not slipping under my watch. You know what I mean? How dare I let this thing slow down, And I think the players feel the same thing when they come in. There's just too much tradition. There's too much going on. And in the state of Oklahoma, they'll let you know if it ain't good enough. I've won back-to-back Big 12 championships here, and it's like, all right, pat on the back, good job, but you failed. You didn't win a natty. So wow. I think the expectations are high and the love is real, and I think that's what makes this place so special.
Man, well, we're sorry for being late again. We're gonna let you go. I don't see an end in sight to those Big 12 championships, though. So you better, get your fingers ready. Size them all up, because there's no end in sight to that. You won't stop winning those anytime soon. But man,
maybe we can get out there and I don't know, maybe catch a game. I don't know.
Yeah, man, we got to get out there to Norman. I took my kids out there, not last year, but the year before. We were on our way to the Junior Olympics, so we stopped there and you got the big statues outside of the stadium. We took pictures with the Heisman Trophy winners and all of that stuff, man. We parked out there. It's a nice little, it's a nice place, man. So we definitely got to get out there and check y'all out, man. We're going to take the podcast on the road.
We have to.
Man, but
cool, man.
Appreciate the time again, man, and good luck when everything gets started again, man.
Yeah, appreciate
Absolutely.
you calling us.
I sure appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right, we'll talk to y'all.
All right, man.
Bye.
When they're born, man. That's when you should start.
Wow, when they're born. What's up, Chaz? You all right?
What's up, man?
We're going to take one more call, and then we're going to focus on you guys.
Yeah, man. Right now, the Cowboys are losing. And so how we're going to do this, if the Cowboys lose, then the Bucks get to keep playing, right?
Yes.
So Bucks play next week. Y'all can decide who you want to see the Bucks play.
You want to highlight student athletes?
Yeah, we can do the student
We'll do
athletes.
that before we get into this next one, and then we'll focus on
You got 3
our
minutes.
in-studio student athlete. You ready? Which one's up first? I can't see it right now. Red and blue? Okay. First student athlete for this week, and you guys will be on all of our social media, Instagram. We'll put you on Twitter and Facebook and the website. First one is Angel Cummings from El Paso, Texas. He's 9 years old, plays linebacker, running back. I didn't get his team name, but what does it say on there? Does it say T-Birds? T-Birds.
Yeah, T-Birds.
The El Paso T-Birds. I'm assuming. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. So congratulations to Angel. Keep up the great work. Sounds like you're doing pretty good things over there. I think he's the youngest 4th grader in his school, and he's like one of the smartest ones in his school. So keep that up, Angel. Next student athlete, you ready? Is out of San Marcos, Texas. His name is Ethan Olivo. He's 8 years old. He's in the 2nd grade. He plays for the Lone Star Elite. That's his second Lone Star Elite.
Oh, it sounds like the Lone Star Elite are taking over the
Hey,
show.
they're taking that area over. Second back-to-back week for Lone Star Elite. He's a basketball player. His favorite players are Steph Curry and Patty Mills. So yeah, great job to Ethan. Keep up the great work. They sent me a ton of videos of him. He's got some pretty good. Maybe we'll upload one to Instagram later on and Facebook. I'll do that. I wasn't sure if we could upload it to right now, but we'll get that. We'll get that uploaded.
Promotional video. Hey, we're stepping our game up, man.
He's got some pretty good skills, man. He's got some good handles there.
You send us a good video, we'll promote it on our YouTube. Look at that.
We'll put it on YouTube and we'll spread it over Facebook.
What are we gonna call somebody? Andre, we call random people, right? This is what we do. We call random people on the phone and we ask them a crazy question. Before the end of the show, you got to come up with a question.
Crazy question.
And we're gonna call.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Andre Thompson. He's our third student athlete for this week. We're gonna get into him to more about his gameplay and what he does and how he gets better. We're after we take this next interview, we're gonna focus on him and Chaz, the personal trainer here in Houston, Texas. So we're gonna get into that.
Hello.
Is that the Wicked Witch?
Oh man.
I'm waiting. Oh, okay. Maybe I need to let them know we're ready.
Yeah, man. Chaz, what's up, man? What are the kids doing, man?
Man.
Somebody just texted me I didn't have a six-pack because I love Frito pie.
Frito pie's good, man.
This is what the people are doing watching the show. They're harassing me on my phone.
Hey, man, I can't be mad.
Is your microphone on? Is your microphone on?
Yeah, it's on. You got to get closer, Chaz. You got to get closer to the mic, man. People can't hear you.
Yeah, so.
Chaz, before I call it, what made you choose Louisville? Louisville Cardinals.
Was it playing time? What was it?
Man, when I chose them, they was number 2 in the country.
Okay.
You know, and then they had a coaching change. So, you know, yeah.
It goes, and the story's written then.
Story written after that.
What year you go to first year?
I was there 2007 through 2010.
Okay.
And you got injured, correct? You were injured?
No, not up there. I ain't get injured up there. I got injured in the CFL.
Ooh. Was your ankle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, so I hate Louisville. I like you, Chaz. But, man,
Don't
you
feel
know.
bad.
He hates everybody.
I hate U of H.
Hey, but you know what? Right now, it's like the Dallas Cowboys takeover show.
It is.
Cowboy. Andre, are you a Cowboys fan?
Oh, look at that. Cowboys everywhere.
Got them
Yeah.
good. We've taken over.
We had the best draft.
What you think about the draft?
Argue with your grandparents.
No, I love the draft. I think the draft went well. Even though I still feel that they should have got a safety somewhere in the draft. But,
Yeah.
you know,
I agree.
I mean, you can't.
I
about-
think we should
what
trade
about
Dak Prescott for a safety.
Clinton Dix. What do you think about him?
I mean, I like that. I like the pickup, but you still need another one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Like,
As long as we don't got Heath.
I feel like this year, if truly and honestly, if Dak Prescott don't get it done, he need to go. I'm just being real. He got every weapon on America. I mean, you can't.
agree.
I mean, what can you say?
Yeah.
He got
We
it.
are pretty loaded this year, man.
I personally didn't love the CeeDee Lamb pick.
I mean, I didn't think it, but I mean, at the same exact time as you got to look at it, he the best available. They got to steal. They got a top.
That's true.
Top 5 pick, top 10 pick for it.
Yeah. I didn't hate it, right? I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it because I didn't think that was our biggest need.
Hey, Jordan.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, give me 1 second. Turn it up just a little bit.
All right.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah,
How you doing, Jordan?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, we're doing good, man.
Doing good, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jordan Stearns. He's a former Oklahoma State Cowboy, former Kansas City Chief. I'm with my co-host, Roy Swan. He played at U of H.
What's up, man?
What's up, bro?
How you living? How's everything going?
Oh man, everything's going as good as it can right now.
Yeah.
So, man, with all this stuff going on, but I can't complain, bro. How about yourself?
Hey, it's the same thing. We're just
Yeah.
living, trying to maintain and trying to keep up with the shows.
Trying not to cough, man.
Trying not to cough.
Trying not to cough.
So we're going to jump right into it. I'm sorry we were late. You know, we had some difficulties going on.
That's all good.
So going back to Steele, when you were at Steele High School, Jordan Stearns is from the San Antonio area, went to Steele High School. So going back to Steele High School, what was your best memory you had during the 4 years of football?
Oh man.
I know you won a state championship.
Yeah, that was a great memory, of course, but just the everyday process of it. It was such a good program. Just I had Coach Jinx at the time. He was the head coach.
Yep.
Just the brotherhood, how close we were, man, as a team. And I'm sure it's like that in most high schools. I don't really know. But
Yeah.
man, we were really close. We spent a lot of time together. Just that locker room talk, man, and it was kind of like that in college, or it was like that in college as well. But man, just how well we played together, and then just the town of Cibolo in and of itself, I love. It's growing now, but
Yeah.
when I first got to Cibolo, it was super small. It kind of reminded me of the movie Friday Night Lights, man. And
Yeah.
that was like a dream of my own when I went and saw that movie. I was 4th grade, maybe.
Yeah.
And it was just something that I was looking forward to doing once I got to high school, and it kind of played itself out.
You guys had the colors for it and the
Yeah,
big stadium.
For real.
I got a question kind of off script real quick.
Okay,
right.
for sure.
You from San Antonio. We're from the Houston area. And we got some people that come from the Dallas area. Where's the best football played in Texas? We're not even going to talk about no damn RGV or no El Paso. They don't even count. Panhandle. We're not going to ask them. Is it Dallas? Is it Houston? Or is it San Antonio?
Well, oh, man.
Don't be biased, man. Don't be biased.
Nah, because I was born in Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah, the Waxahachie area.
Sound
where
like we
a lot of our
eliminated.
people come from. And, I mean, it's just a lot. The bigger the city, I feel like there's more talent to pull from. There's more people, but I'm going to go with San Antonio.
Hey.
I'm going to go with San Antonio.
There's a lot of people that push San Antonio aside because they're overshadowed by Dallas and Houston, and they push Austin aside. But they got some good teams over there. I know Steve does it all the time, but
I know they do. Right. But I don't want to get too deep into this because my man's from San Antonio. We're not gonna disrespect San Antonio. But
I'm gonna take Stern's side on this.
when you get to the big game, those San Antonio teams are always out. Like when you see them, they're like, oh, that now. Still for a while, y'all were in it like pretty often. Y'all were having some of the best players in the state too. Yeah. So it wasn't like it was just, Steele's here, and their running backs got $4,000 over the course of his career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It is like it's Houston, and I don't know if we can count Katy. Houston counting Katy is kind of like stealing a little bit because Katy is not Houston.
Yeah.
So when you look at Houston, like the real Houston, the HISD schools, they don't win anything.
Nothing.
It's
the suburbs.
Yeah, it's like the areas around Houston. They don't win nothing.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the same thing with San Antonio, though. It's the suburbs that are good.
But same thing. Like you look at the Manvilles and the Shadow Creeks and all of those schools. And I'm from Texas City. We won state titles. You look at Lamarck's. You look at it's the outskirts of this area. North Shore is Houston, so you can't take nothing away from North Shore. But it's a good argument. I would like to get like 3 coaches from those 3 areas.
That would be dope.
And put them on here, and we're gonna let them make a pitch to see who's got the best. Because it's gonna be biased. I'm gonna say Houston. You're gonna say San Antonio. I call a Dallas guy. He's gonna say over here.
I would say
over here is where
Texas has got some of the best football.
Period.
Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed. Hey, so I'm gonna go to the second question.
All right, bro.
When the recruiting process started for you, what schools were interested in you? What schools were you thinking about? What were your options?
Man, I was committed. I didn't have much offers coming. I had maybe 8, and I was ranging from Memphis, Texas State, UTSA, Oklahoma State, Tech, a few others, Baylor.
Okay.
Iowa State. So that's just a quick list. That's pretty much all of them. And I had originally committed to Texas Tech.
Okay.
Really early, and then Oklahoma State came on the scene, and I really felt the vibe of my coach, he's no longer there, but Coach Malone, and
This
it
was
was
your
pretty
secondary
simple. I
coach?
wanted to get it out the way. I was already kind of drained from all the other things that come with recruiting. You know, the pressure, the hype behind everything, and I
Yeah.
just kind of ready to play ball. So Oklahoma State, man, and it turned out to be a great decision.
Okay. So your coach, and that was your secondary coach? Okay.
Well, he ended up going to coach corners my freshman year. So when I got there, he didn't even end up coaching me.
Oh, wow.
It was another coach, but he was still there, and he actually ended up leaving my sophomore year. And I got fortunate again because the guy my coach, who coached me my freshman and sophomore year, went to coach the corners. Coach Malone, who recruited me, left to SMU. But I was really fortunate to get a really good coach in Coach Hammersmith. And, you know, we got a great relationship to this day, as I do with anybody who's coached me.
Okay.
So what's your biggest memory at OK State? What you know?
Oh, man, my biggest memory, man. Man, just walking out that tunnel, man, and then people they slapping the pad. Because, you know, I don't know if y'all ever been to an Oklahoma State game. If not, man, y'all should take a trip out there. But, man, we got what you call paddle people, and they slap these paddles against the mat. And, you know, if we don't have 100,000 a game, we have maybe 50,000. But that element right there, man, and how loud it would get just because how the stadium was built, kind of like in this dome, in the you know, everything vibrating, the sound just vibrating. And I remember my teammates getting sacks, and I remember one time just standing there, and I could feel just all these vibrations going through my body, and I was like, dang. So, you know, those, it's a lot of memories, man. There's a lot of memories, but that one, as far as a football memory on the field, when I felt the sound, it was that was memorable.
Okay. So what was it like getting signed to the Chiefs? You know, taking your game to the next level and you know, getting to be around all those guys that you had kind of how do you say, looked up to?
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, it was a blessing, but I at the time was a little pissed off. Excuse my language.
No, you're
upset.
good. You're good. No problem.
I was a little upset because, you know, I thought I should have been drafted. Just because how I performed for 3 years, I got better every year.
I agree.
And so I was a little upset. And, you know, of course, I had weaknesses, man. We all do as football players and as humans. Should take it to the next step. But yeah, man, at that time I was pissed off. But in retrospect, man, it was a blessing. You know, like Eric Berry was one of my favorite safeties, and Earl Thomas was two guys that I idolized. And being in the same room is, I mean, I remember being starstruck for the first time in my life when Eric Berry came walking in the locker room. And then it was also humbling because how humble he was, how humble he presented himself, how generous he was with his knowledge and his wisdom. So, man, that whole process. I mean, after I got over my little, I guess, temper tantrum of not being drafted and being in my feelings, I look back now and I was really fortunate, man.
Yeah, I was a little surprised you weren't drafted as well. You know, I know you know my wife's cousin Zach, and you know I remember I hadn't even heard about you in high school still, and he's like, you got to watch because I followed still when Malcolm was there, and Tommy Armstrong, and so I followed them, and Zach was telling me, he's like, I got my buddy Jordan Stearns over there. You gotta watch him because he's the next thing coming. I was like, all right, cool. So that's when we started paying attention to you, and I agree. You did get better every year. You know, going in, you were an impact player, and I thought you got better every year, and you were every game, every week, you were a key player to watch. So, but
it is what it is, man. Like. All those things, not to cut you off, bro.
No, you're good.
Just all those things, but they, to me, they looking back, right?
Yeah.
Again, in retrospect, it's taught me a lot about myself that I can take forward, moving forward.
Okay.
Man, so on that topic, somebody brought up like you know, when you finish your career or whatever, you didn't get drafted or you didn't have a successful whatever. I'm not. You didn't go where you wanted to go, right?
Yeah.
Most of us, once we hit college and we start getting that success, we all start to feel like, man, I'm that dude. I'm about to play a 15-year NFL career, next level career, and do some shit that nobody else has done, right? That's where your mind goes. And then when that doesn't happen, right? When that doesn't happen, the society wants to tell you that you failed. Like society wants to tell you that you failed. But in all actuality, you're in one of like probably 3% of the world at that sport. And there's another 1% that is, in the NFL and they're having a great career. But then there's a 3% or a 5% that we're in, and we're sitting here thinking like, oh man, we're failures, and we're actually, we've actually had quite a bit of success at the game, and something that you can look back on and be proud of. That's something that I always try to tell people, man. Try to find a way, and this is not just about me and you. This is about everybody, like all the kids out there, everybody, man. Try to find a way to, once that's over, look back at it and see what you've been able to accomplish. Because after I left U of H, didn't get drafted, went to play arena and all that stuff, man. You sit there and you start thinking about like, man, this was a waste of time. Like, you don't sit there and think like, dude, I got all of these college stars. I played in front of all of these people. You can go search your name on the internet. There's a lot of people that can't do that kind of stuff. And
that's real.
That is a success in itself, man. And I don't think us athletes, because we, from a young age, we're taught that it's NFL or bust. Right now, there's somebody telling a 9-year-old kid that he's going to the NFL. And that kid doesn't understand that if he goes and plays at Oklahoma State and starts for 3 or 4 years, he's just as successful as 90% of society up until being age 20 years old or 21 years old. So, I think we got to start, somewhere. And, somebody's got to start putting it in these people's head and these kids' head that, hey, success is not measured by an NFL contract. That's a different level of greatness and also a level of luck that you got to have to be there, man. Wrapping it up, my statement up with this, Josh Jones from U of H, he was supposed to go in the first round, supposed to be like a top 15, 20 pick. It didn't end up going till, I think, the late third round. So if he's the tackle that's supposed to go to the first round, didn't go to third, what happened to the tackle that's supposed to go to third in his spot? Where did he go?
For real.
Sixth. So what happens to the tackle that's supposed to go in the 6th round, where that tackle's supposed to go? He never gets drafted. That don't have nothing to do with talent. That has something to do with, they pick 20 quarterbacks in the draft. So guess what? They're not going to pick 20 tackles too. They can't. And nobody's mind goes to that. Everybody just instantly thinks they fail. And it takes some luck, man. It takes those quarterbacks who busted could have been you. It could have been you, and you could have had a hell of a career. It wasn't wasn't in the card. So I think that's what a lot of athletes got to take out of that. That aspect of our careers or whatever.
Yeah, no, bro, I totally agree.
Hey,
with all that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You hit it on the head with that.
Yeah, I've heard some stories Roy tells me, and the people that he's talked to that I've gotten a chance to interact with, and it's crazy. You guys go through all this basically of your whole life playing ball, and it suddenly ends, and it's like I've heard some guys think that they've just failed at life, and it's like, no, man, look at everything you've accomplished. I mean, that's a hell of an accomplishment for you just to even go to the next level and play college. So I know it's been a couple years, or a year or two, but don't ever get down on yourself about anything like that. It's like you said, it's just because you weren't drafted doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what's going back to Kansas City? What was your greatest memory while you were there?
Man, like my greatest memory, man, again was I touched on it a little earlier, but just meeting a guy that I tried to model my game after, and being able to talk with him, how he saw the game, not even that, just life.
Yeah.
And helping me take my game to the next level, which I did. And he led, learning to follow. What I mean by that is just, he was just a good leader, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I was able to pick up keynotes that he would do. Like, you know, if I would have a couple, 3 days, 4 days, I was doing well in OTAs, and, you know, he would notice it, and he would come up to me individually and be like, hey, keep stacking, basically keep getting better.
Yeah.
And those things, man, those are the things that touch my heart as a dude who, you know, this is like, I look up to this man, and he notices me performing, and he's still pushing me though, while acknowledging that he sees me and that I'm making some, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But hey, keep stacking, like you can still get better. And so, you know, that was big, but man, it wasn't no better feeling, man. Like I was
Getting
just to go back
compliments.
to like feeling is like running out on that field on preseason. You know what I mean? I know my mom, my pops in the stands.
Yeah.
You know, I all that mess go out the window. Like, I wasn't really worried about making the team at that point. It was just like, all right, let's go
I'm
play.
here. Yeah.
It's really all the same, a little more complex as far as the schemes, but it's just football.
That's cool. So now, what's life after football? What is it now? Like what you up to now? I've seen you do. You've gotten into poetry and your creative writing and the free flow writing. I was listening the other day, man. You said something, and it was if you could pause, if there was one memory you could pause, whether it was in present or future, what would it be? Man, that was deep. That was deep. That was deep, man.
Yeah, man. I guess after football, cause you know I played with the Stallions a little bit.
Yeah.
But at that time, man, I was definitely not in the mode for football anymore. I mean, I worked hard to get there. Like, I mean, I pushed myself, but when I got there, I was like, man, I don't really feel these meetings no more. And I was kind of at this time, I was on my own little regimen and routine. Not to sound like a rebel or anything, but I was just like in a totally different. There was one time in my life, man, that I was like, nah, it's football and nothing.
Yeah.
And I kind of was fighting against this call, right? This feeling like that it was something more or something else that I was supposed to be doing.
Okay.
And so, you know, I was at Kansas City 2 different times. So after the first time, when things didn't work out, before they brought me back in 2018, I just started writing a lot. And so this is when I kind of, I guess, peeling back the layers, so to speak. And so, yeah, with poetry, man, and just writing, telling stories, it was just a way for me to kind of express myself and not really to share with anybody at that time, but just to help me, you know, just to help me understand myself a little better, if that makes sense.
No, it does.
Yeah, so that's really all the poetry and all the creative writing all it's about.
So go ahead. You got something, Roy?
No, you know, I think do you feel like you needed somewhere to put that energy? You know, because we dedicate so much time to our sport, right? To our craft. Yeah. Do you feel like you chose poetry as a way to dedicate that energy, or was that something that you feel like was in you before sports that you didn't have time to do because you were, you know, concentrating on this, you know, single-minded goal of being a, you know, football star?
Yeah, I would say for me, man, it was buried. Like, I used to love writing when I was a kid. Even when it was in class and stuff, I used to love telling stories. And bro, to be honest, I did enjoy football. Like, I would love playing it in the streets and stuff, but I was never like, you know, it would be cool to play football, but I wasn't so pressed on, oh, I need to go to the NFL, you know what I'm saying, to be somebody.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I really started taking it serious when my sophomore year of high school, with my coach, my grades was really bad. It was my freshman year of high school. We had just had the spring game, actually. So it was going into my sophomore year. And he was like, hey, man, you got to get your grades right. We had Kansas State scout asking about you.
Wow.
And so that's kind of when I was like, all right, well, maybe I am good. You know what I mean? Because I always kind of had this lack of confidence when it came to football. And so, man, the poetry, because music I also enjoy. That's always been, I guess, part of me. And to answer your question, football, man, you get blinded by putting your identity into it. And then, like you were saying earlier, you fail or whatever, and then you kind of left in this void, this empty space, and you really don't know who. I didn't know who I was, just speaking from personal experience. And so I think just through writing, all these other talents that I had started coming to the surface. You know what I mean? I think you take the time to search, that'll happen with anybody, man.
Yeah. That's
deep,
it
man.
is, man. I didn't know that. I mean, these are things that you don't know unless you talk to whoever it is that you're following, and I'd have never ever known that. I don't think anybody.
That's
would
what's
ever
powerful about stories. Not even just mine, just your guys' stories, and anybody's story, man.
Yeah.
There's so many different, unique perspectives out here.
I think that's a big thing on this show is to let we got a bunch of people who watch this with their kids or whatever, and or they tell their kids about what happens on here, and I think it's always good to get perspective from people from we've had guys on here who were drafted, we've had guys undrafted, we've had professional boxers, NFL coaches, we've had all demographics of people on here. And
with a different story.
Yeah, with different stories, and if you listen close enough, you'll always get something. Even today, I got something from listening to somebody else that I have been 1,000% disagreeing with, and it's because the people who I've been arguing it with don't have the valid argument. Right, their arguments suck. So this person came with a good argument. It's like, hold up, man, that's that's a different way to think about it. So that's I think that's a good a way of letting people tell their story, and maybe one kid will hear your story and he'll say, I'm gonna start writing right now, and I'm gonna pursue this football thing, or I'm gonna start. Maybe it's not writing, man. I'm gonna start. One thing I dread is my son saying he wants to be in the band, man. That's one. But I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna tell you the story. We're gonna let you go. My son was 1, man. We were going. I had a cousin still in high school playing football. My son was 1, and we take him to the games every Friday and watch my cousin play. And at first he would just sit there, and then after a while he would just start looking, and I'm like, what the hell is he looking at? And he would be looking at the band.
Who's this, RJ?
RJ. We stopped taking him. I was like, no way. No way. He's not even watching football. He's watching the damn drum major. We're not going to football no more until I can show him what to watch, man. Hey, man, it's good talking to you. I love hearing those stories, man. Hey, keep doing everything, man. Life after football is great. My football career ended one day and my other career started, and it's been golden ever since. I got kids, family, everything, and all of that stuff. All of that stuff that I worried about the day that I didn't get drafted and the day that I decided football was over, all of that stuff, the disappointment of others and the disappointment of myself, man, half of the time I'm like, dude, the best thing that probably could have happened to me was not to play football.
Yeah. That's the way you gotta look at it.
For me, I'm not saying that's for everybody, somebody's got to do it.
Talk.
I got to criticize somebody every Sunday. But, that was probably, for me, that was a good, I don't even know if I was in the right mind state to be a millionaire. And that's a whole different story for another time, man. But I appreciate talking to you, man.
Man, straight up, I appreciate y'all.
Hey, Jordan, one more question, man. I didn't send you this question, but what's the rivalry with you and Caden? I know Jordan's brother is starting free safety for the Longhorns.
Okay.
And because Jordan went to Oklahoma State, Caden's at Texas. So what's that? How's that on Saturdays?
What? Oh, when it's Oklahoma State and Texas?
Yeah.
Playing?
Well, just in general.
Just in general, just with Oklahoma State and Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's I'm always have love for Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Of course, but man, that's my brother, and
yeah.
He's
doing big things, man.
Yeah, man, and that's family. We grew up together. I mean, anybody should understand that. And if they don't, I really don't care. But,
of course.
It's like, I'm gonna wear your jersey. That's school stuff. And anybody who's coached me at Oklahoma State or who knows me as a person knows they know what's up. They know that.
It's
you
family.
know, I have nothing but love for Oklahoma State, and they're a family to me too. But you know, my brother, man, I'm sure you know how that goes.
Oh yeah. I know.
Yeah.
He's doing great things over there, just as you did at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking our call, man, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Hopefully we can try to get Katy on before the season.
Yeah, man. Just shoot, I just hit him up, man.
Yeah.
That boy busy.
I know he's busy. I see him.
That boy busy.
But like I said, man, I appreciate you taking your time to link with us, and
No doubt.
and take care, man, and keep the poetry going. And I'll be tuning in, and hopefully we'll talk soon.
All right, bro. Appreciate y'all. God bless.
Yes, sir. You too, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan Stern, man, that dude was a boss at Oklahoma State.
Hey, man. Hey,
That was deep.
I don't disrespect my callers, but ain't no way in hell San Antonio football better than Houston football.
Man,
I'm
saying there's some schools out there that can
You hear this, Andre?
take away Katy.
Take
away
Katy.
Katy.
Some lies.
Take away Katy. Take away Katy though.
Lies.
Take away Katy.
Deceit.
I still
Lies and deceit.
Still High School is one of them. Judson is another. We're gonna get Judson coaches on soon too. I got coaches over there that
Judson is good all the time.
Yeah, Steele's better than Judson. I think.
Like sometimes. Wagner's been getting beat by every year. They get beat by the team from down here.
Yeah.
So they're good. They're 3 rounds good. You got to be 5 rounds good. You know what I'm talking about? Not 3 rounds good.
That's another.
Chaz, who invented the spread?
Chaz Thompson. What's up, Chaz? Hey, I'm so sorry. Today we're backed up. Sorry I had you guys here bored as hell. I apologize. How you guys living?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. I'm just here, just chilling.
Has the coronavirus slowed down your training?
Nah, it actually helped me.
It's helping you?
Yeah, it's actually helped me.
Ooh.
Getting more people because of coronavirus, baby.
I think we're going back next week.
You know, when you're in the building with Coach Chaz, you gonna sweat. Coronavirus don't like heat. I'm the best thing
First time I took Jaron over there, he was just like, it's tough.
I'm the best thing for it, man. I'm the best thing for coronavirus, man.
Chaz fights corona.
I'm the best thing for it. I'm the best thing for it.
Period.
That's a cold-ass sales pitch.
I'm telling you, I'm the best thing for it, man. Hey, business phone been blowing out the roof, man, because of the coronavirus. Man. They know what time it is.
That's good.
You know I don't believe in AC. I don't believe in none of that, so they know.
Andre, y'all have AC at the house? Sometimes when I'm good.
That boy Chad.
Hey man, he'll tell you we get it out the mud, man. He already know, man. Hey, he probably happy that he get a little break every now and then. More people starting to show up.
So ladies and gentlemen, we got Chaz Thompson. He's a trainer. Would you say in the Houston area? What would you say? Houston area. You got kids all over,
everywhere, right? Man. This Burger King have it your way, man. We make it happen, man. You know, hey, we make it happen.
former Texas City Stingery, correct?
Yeah, correct.
And former Louisville Cardinal.
Yes, sir.
Hold up, let me touch on that. Why I said I hate Louisville. So I played Louisville 4 times.
He's always taking jabs.
No, I'm not taking a jab, dude. So we come out of there, right? The visitor side. Man, those idiots are throwing all kind of stuff on us.
Oh yeah, they ruthless.
Pouring stuff on us, throwing stuff like and it's high, dude. It's like up there.
They're ruthless.
And they're throwing it down at you, man. At that time, I was a different Roy, man. I
wanted to fight everybody.
Yeah,
right?
man. I wanted to try. I wanted to see if
if you're about that life.
Yeah,
down here.
if I was in those bleachers, would you pour your stuff on me? You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to see. That's what I like.
Like I said, I loved it up there. I ain't gonna lie. I can't even front because really no professional team up there. So the college football was like
everything, like
their life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it can't be bad. So you one of the outcasts.
You know who else I don't like? Southern Miss. I don't like Southern Mississippi. I don't like Louisville. I'm not gonna say that one. I don't like SMU. I don't like none of those people.
I know which one you're gonna say.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Chaz. So, Chaz Thompson, Houston trainer, probably one of the best I've ever seen, and I'll tell you that on Facebook. I'll tell you that on the phone. I'll tell that to somebody, and then they can tell you.
Oh man, wake up some sensitive people.
I know, right?
It happens. It happens. It happens. There's other guys that do a good job too.
But when you talk about the best trainer, what Chaz does
It's because I've seen what he does.
Yeah, it's
he
a
trains
different,
my kid.
He has a different way of getting things out of kids.
Yeah.
That other people may not. The other guy might say. I see some of these dudes' videos on Facebook, and I'm like, dude, I will never bring my son over there to you.
Hey, I say, it's crazy that you say that because I see some of the videos and I'll be like, man, they really give trainers bad names.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna be 100 with you. Like, I mean, it's some people that I ain't gonna lie, like he's sitting there right beside me, but I mean, I really hate training Andre because he feel like he know every damn thing. So, and with that being said, you really want to turn them over to somebody, but at the same exact time, you don't find the ones that, you know what I'm saying, that do it for the wrong reason. Like, I really think like some of them people I see on Facebook, yeah, don't get me wrong, training is good money, but at the same exact time is if it ain't about the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, with me, shit, someone can preach for it. He done brought Royce over there. Royce be bullshitting the workout. Coach Chaz keep him there 4-5 hours. You know what I'm saying? The dollar don't mean nothing to me, man. I want the work. I want the blood, sweat, and tears. That's why I told him right now, I'm the best thing for the coronavirus. Because if you want them working, you want them sweating, come out that wet, hey, I'm the man for the job.
I mean, boy, that's
man.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I think I say you because in the Corpus tournament with Elite, Chaz because Jaren's gone over there, and Billy, y'all are the only ones. He goes to a different level of working hard. He didn't do that shit for me. He didn't do it when I was coaching him. He never did that shit for me, ever.
I think it is. It's I got kids. It's harder for me to get out of my kids what Chaz can get out of them.
Is it because they take it personal?
No, it was because I don't know, because I'm the daddy all the time. Yeah. And they're still young, right? Once they get older and they start wanting it for themselves. Like it's when you're 9, you want to be a star, but you don't necessarily want to do the work to be.
Of course.
Like not every 9.
I thought my kid was the only kid like that.
So I mean, not every 9-year-old wants to do the work. When you start to get 14, 15. Then it's like, okay, 13 now. Now I want to be the star, and I'm willing to go get it. So I feel like it's gonna come. My time with my kids is gonna come.
I mean, like you could say that, like I said, because I can speak on Andre, like I said, like, cause when I got him at 9, when I adopted him when he was 9 years old, he didn't want to work. He'll tell you himself he didn't want to work. It wasn't nothing that he wanted to do. I'm gonna be real. Like most people may think it's jacked up. Hey man, I tell everybody, man, I beat good in that man. He ain't have no choice. Your daddy a trainer. That's my business. I mean, the only way you gonna do it if they see you, then they want to come.
Yeah. Like
all the people I see, like they watch the videos on them and they say, hey man, look, I want to be that kid. Well, are you willing to do what that kid was willing to do? To get like that? You see what I'm saying?
I think we was probably about, I don't know, 6 to 8 months after Chaz had started training Andre, and we was out there, and we would be out there. That's when my kids first started training, and this dude out there working out with the high school kids. Yeah. And he busting the high school kids' ass.
It's crazy.
This is 3 years ago.
And he's still doing it, and it's just even worse now.
He's just getting older and older and older. So, like, that work that you put in is gonna pay off. But Andre, how is it living with Chaz, man? How is it being Chaz's crash test dummy, man?
Scoot your mic up.
It's good. Like when I'm working out, it's not hard, but I mean it's hard, like because he pushed me to my limit. But then once it's over, it's all like said and done. Yeah. Like just chill out, do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we got Andre Thompson in our studio. He's our student athlete of the week. What's your Instagram name?
Dre_05_Goldfeet.
Goldfeet. Remember that. Goldfeet's gonna be attached to him for years to come. If you don't believe us, just watch. Tell him a little bit about what he did at the Clemson camp.
I mean,
how old were you when you went to the Clemson camp first?
I think like it was either 12 or 13.
12 or 13 years old. What did he do at the camp?
I mean, he destroyed it. I mean, they put him with the high school kids. The Clemson receiver coach told me, bring him back in a year or so because he couldn't believe that a kid his age was as advanced as he was. You know what I'm saying? Like he was in 7th grade, I think, 7, I don't know, 7th, 8th grade, one of them. But they moved him with the high school kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like, it's been our mindset. It's been our mindset from day one. Like, not just with him, with all the kids. Like, hey man, I told him every day. He'll tell you. Our goal is to get Alabama. We gonna tell Nick Saban no. Nick Saban ain't gonna tell us no.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just the model that we roll with. And truly and honestly, like I said, but like I tell him every day, like right now, I actually been trying to get him to other people because like I let Rocaine and Pat get him over there at Fast Houston on that 18U just to push him because I mean it ain't no 14-year-old or 15-year-old that's gonna be able to stop him. I'm gonna tell you like this, like, and most people can say I'm cocky, most people can say I'm confident. I'm gonna tell you like this. Line that shit up.
Yeah.
See, you line it up, I know who's going to come out on top. You put 2 pit bulls in the cage, only one of them can come out. And I know what my pit going to do. Yeah. I don't know what theirs going to do.
So reiterate what he joined the Fast Houston team. How old were those kids?
They 17, 18, you know, they got some kids that's on that 16, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, Pat and Rocaine do a hell of a job over there with the kids. They get all the top five-star prospects in the country, you know what I'm saying? And like my thing was it wasn't even really about the playing time like that. It was all about, you know, him getting out there and competing with the 3-4 star cornerbacks and stuff like that, and actually taking what I've been trying to teach him that he need to work on and taking it out there to the field, because when you 14 and you faster than everybody, he can just run by everybody and he ain't got to do the work that's really needed. But when you 14 and you playing against 17, 18-year-olds and they already got 10, 12 offers. Well, when I tell you to stem now, you understand where I got to stem. You understand how to create separation. So it's just getting you in a different mindset. You know what I'm saying?
See now, we're gonna take that and we're gonna turn. That's exactly what I'm talking about with why me and you feel like it's time for us to take kids outside of these leagues. It doesn't have nothing to do with weighted or how much people weigh or
it's
any of that.
Pushing the kid.
It is about if the high level of teaching that I'm doing is wasted in on these leagues, because first of all, the other coaches are teaching low level garbage that my kid will never have to go against, and the high level that I'm teaching doesn't even work against the low level, right?
Correct.
So when I teach, you know, and blocking, when I teach my kid to try to place his hands, and you teach your kid to crawl, guess what my kid's got to do? The kid who's been taught high-level football has to conform to garbage-level football.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? He has to conform to trash-level football, and he's getting actually worse at the game because you choose to teach your kid garbage.
And see, like that's the point that I like to touch on. Like you said, like to me, like don't get me wrong, everybody want to win. Everybody want to win. When you coach, you want to win. You can say you don't want to win, but you want to win. But at the same exact time is like when I was able to take my group when we played with the Vikings in 2017, I was able to take them to Florida, right? And I ain't gonna even lie to you, we got our ass whooped, but it wasn't because we couldn't play with them skill wise in the trenches. That's why it's so much like anytime I get a phone call, I'm always on the phone with Big Greg or Roy talking about the offensive and defensive line, because man, we got our ass handed to us in the trenches. But it was because I ain't gonna lie, they had some 200-pounders, but also it was just the technique that they was coming. They was bigger than us. You know, our biggest kid was 160. Their biggest kid 240.
So you guys lost in the trenches.
Yeah, but what it did for me was I don't look at it, we lost it in the trenches, but I look at it as from a team's perspective. I got to go get my team in a whole different mindset. That's why that 9U group that I got right now, I believe that my 9U group can go out there and play with some of the top teams in the country. I'm going to just tell you. And the reason why I say that is only because the mindset that I learned from that weekend, I instilled it into them. But I got this group at 9, and I believe right now they prime it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't hit me with that weighted and unweighted shit. That shit don't matter, because the same kids that they was talking about weighted, I took them a year later to the 713 Cardinals, and we arguably assembled the best 12U team in the country. Arguably, I still say that to this day. Like, we arguably assembled the best 12U team in the country. And them same kids that played over there in the weighted league, I mean, they was effective. I mean, you just look at Hilton. Hilton went over the gridiron and dominated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he had most of the kids that came from Balfour.
Damn. So go ahead.
I don't think a lot of people put they don't put a lot of respect on higher level coaching.
Yeah.
They get upset, like the guys who we can look at in their face and say, oh, this guy's not a high level coach, he's not teaching anything high level. They get upset when they hear, oh, well, Chaz the best coach, or
Yeah.
Roy is the best coach, or somebody is the best, Billy is the best coach, whoever they may say is the best coach, because they're not teaching high-level stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're not teaching the next level stuff. So
Yeah.
I think they take it as an insult because they're not capable of doing, they're not capable of doing what we're doing.
I mean, like I take this for instance. Okay, like, and I'm gonna tell you this. Like, this is my mindset in coaching. Okay, so we got the Alvin Raiders, the Yellow Jackets. The ones that's gonna be in this league. The Santa Fe Braves. All the dumpster juice teams.
Shout
gonna be
out
there.
Alvin and Santa
I'm
Fe,
just
man.
playing,
They
man.
some real life football.
We gonna call a spade a spade. So we get all them teams, man.
Dumpster juice.
And they go like most people take it in a different perspective. So when they play them teams, Swan to tell you he was on the sideline. When they play those teams, they want to put up 70 points in the first half. Well, in my point of view, putting up 70 points in the first half, what is that going to teach your kids? You run the same damn plays that you know that work. Why not run something that you know going to be? And see, when I look at those teams, just like I said, this dumpster juice like that, what they going to do? When they see 4 or 5 receivers, what they going to do? They're not going to cover the receivers. They're going to sit in the house. So in my mindset, my offensive line working on max protection and trying to pick up the blitz.
Damn.
That's my mindset. But most people don't understand that. They take it as a different perspective. They think it like, oh, you know what? Well, Chad, you only scored 27 points on these people, but do you know why I scored 27 points on these people?
Because you
I know
change your
what I'm
game
saying?
plan.
Yeah.
A lot of times this year, I had that mindset, and because I don't want to be a sideline cancer, we didn't do it that way. Like, a lot of times I wanted to just go and throw the ball no matter the consequences. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter if we threw
lose or
picks. Not lose. We weren't going to lose, period.
Oh, no, never.
But we just we were in those games that we needed. Okay, it probably would have stopped us from losing when we did lose. If we would have took the time in those
Okay, I
games
see what you're saying.
to where we were winning to challenge this. In the Super Bowl, Caleb catches the ball on the 1-yard line. He has it all the way through, and he drops it. Whose fault is it that Caleb dropped that ball?
Well,
The
I mean, you
coaches.
got to if you get
It's
down.
our
yeah,
fault
It's
that
the
Caleb
coaches.
dropped
because you didn't
that
prepare
ball.
them.
Yeah, because I mean, like, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like I can speak on that junior team because I was right there with them. I mean, like, I seen it, and I always ask Swan every week, and he'll tell you. I said, man, why the hell are y'all running that bullshit ass offense? Y'all got all them athletes. When are y'all gonna practice running something that's worth y'all time? I asked him. I asked him that. Like, I got 7 and 8-year-olds out here running 5 wide in the spread, and you got 11-year-olds, and y'all just want to ground and pound. I mean, don't get me wrong. They did a hell of a job doing it, but at the same exact time, you're not utilizing the athlete. Because I'm gonna tell you this, and most people ain't gonna give them credit because they don't know. Like, number 7 from Tech City was a beast. I ain't gonna even lie to you. But I feel like Swanham arguably had the best running back on their team at number 4. But I think they ran him wrong. He not no downhill power back. He belong in a shotgun. You know what I'm saying? Spread him out. Make him – because one-on-one, ain't nobody making that tackle on him in the hole. I don't give a damn what nobody say. We can argue it all day long, but I'm telling you, ain't nobody making that tackle on that man in the hole one-on-one. I'm telling you.
I can say a million things about that subject. The first day we put on pads at practice, and anybody who was there can attest to it, we were lined up in 1 back, 4 wides. That is the very first set that we ran. I asked Demo when we were working those practices on Sundays. Demo was the quarterback. I was telling Demo we need to teach D to pitch the ball.
Yeah.
Because we were running read option with a pitch. We had people in-house that didn't like that, and we let that affect us. Like, and you know what? I'm not sitting here bitching about it. We lost, whatever happened. But that is something I won't never let happen again. If you sitting on that sideline, that's exactly where you at. If you don't like it, you and whoever you brought out here can go. Because it's 25 kids that when we lose that game, guess who it was down there on the sideline?
Yeah.
Those 20-something kids and those 6 coaches.
Yeah.
Everybody else was in the bleachers doing whatever they want. We have to take that L. You don't take that L. We take that L, and we take it doing what somebody else tells us to do. Like, take it doing how you want us to do it. Nah, I'm not gonna put in all of this work and take a L how you want me to take it. If we would have did it our way, I could have took that. And I still take my L like a man. I didn't play too much football to be worried about. a little league L, but
Yeah, you like me.
you know,
I mean, like when people talking about, hey man, you lost this. All right, bro. I mean, like you gonna judge me off a loss? Okay, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Like, hey, yeah, I lost the game, but you know what I'm saying? Just hey, don't say that we ain't prepared. When we lost, we got our ass whipped because we prepared. We supposed to do what we supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm real big on that. Like that. Like you know, that's why I said like when you sit there and talk about kids. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I really didn't want to bring Andre on here because, like I told him, like, man, look, I'm like this. I'm like Swan. I'm a protector, man. Hey, that's my right hand. I get on my damn nerves sometimes, but at the same exact time is, hey, don't bring my child up because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because if you bring mine up, we got a problem.
Yeah.
But I tell you this, and I put it out there on the internet for everybody to know. Shit, if they think that it's a better receiver in 2024 and shit, my phone number is 49795-1565. Line that shit up. I'm telling you, line that shit up. That's all you got to do is line that shit up. I don't give a damn about no size. I don't give a damn about none of that. Line that shit up.
hey man,
I've seen Andre, man. I've seen him since he was a little younger, and every year the plays just come and then come and they come, and then when you think, I remember seeing you guys last year in 7-on-7. You guys beat that team that was like what 2-3 years older than y'all.
Yeah, man.
The blue team.
Yeah. We usually we have some wars, man.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying. Like hey, I commend my kids that I've been with because I ain't gonna lie, I'm not an easy guy to get along with. I'm just gonna be real with you. I'm not an easy guy to get along with, but at the same exact time, man, you know, hey, when you're a trainer, see, I take 7-on-7 in a different aspect in a different world, and when I take it as is, most people look at it like they say they don't like 7-on-7 because it is unrealistic for the quarterback, but I look at it as like this: I'm a receiver and DB guy specialist. That's why I'm glad I got Big Swarm because like the linemen, when they come to me, I ain't doing no O-line drills and teach you how to place your hands no more. That ain't my forte. You go over there to Swarm. You come to me, you want to be worked. Mm-hmm. So when I got these receivers and DBs, I take it as an aspect of we getting quality reps without having to bang up our body. And what I mean by having to bang up our body, I mean like people go to spring and, you know, like I said, you going there year round. The kid get about 2 months of rest. Shit, the NFL don't play spring football, so why would we? That's my mindset. That's the thing that I took with him. So I put him in 7-on-7 so he can get the reps. You know what I'm saying? And then think about this. What's another sport that you can get? Okay, say you got a receiver, right? What other thing can I do with you to make you get quality reps against all different types of people? Like you might have a little Billy over here. He might get out there and run the best routes in America. You got to go guard one of the dudes that run the best routes in America. You get to see different DBs, some that like to play press, some that like to play with their feet, some that like to play off. So when you look at it at the aspect of what I took it from, 7-on-7 is great for what we trying to do. Okay. Like it's perfect for what we trying to do.
I don't think a lot of people realize that. So
no, they don't. That's why I put it out there like that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's my next venture. Like so, I be telling people, Chaz, man. People say, "Oh man." I sit back, oh, Roy, a lineman coach. Oh, that's all he can do.
Yeah.
All he can do is this. All he can do is that. Just try to cornhole me into what they want me to be. But, you know, in these next couple years, man, I'm going to step out here and show these people that, you know, I'm not about to sit here and tell y'all. Just like Chaz said, if it's a receiver, when I want to know something about a receiver, I'm going to be my ass on YouTube. I'm going to be on the phone with Chaz. I'm going to be on the phone with Kenny. When it's some DB shit, I'm calling them. I'm not sitting here saying I can coach DBs. But if you tell me that I only have to coach DBs, my DB is going to be solid. They're going to be stiff. Like, that's just the nature of me being around them. I coach the linemen because, you know, that's where I coach. But if somebody say, okay, I got the linemen, you go get the DBs. The DB's going to be jamming your ass, hitting your ass. We're going to be the hardest hitting damn DBs in the league. You feel me? Like, that's like who coaching those DBs? Oh, that's Swan DBs. Yeah. Like, it don't matter what players I coach. That's you know, I feel like that's how it's going to be. So, you know, I think we got to get more people in the mindset of, in the mindset of coaching and not trying to win. There's a difference in coaching to teach kids and coaching to win or recruiting. What do you, Chaz? So all they're gonna say this year, if you win, or when you win, is that you recruited that team. What you gotta say to that?
I mean, they can say I wouldn't have recruited the team, but I look at it like this: all the kids that came to the Hurricanes, they're gonna get the best coaching out there. That's what I look at it.
No matter how they got there.
No matter how they got there, they can say I recruited. But at the same exact time, they can say I recruited when I win. But I'm gonna tell you like this, like, and then I ain't ashamed to say it. Shit, I was gonna run through Balfour regardless if I got them people or not.
I love his
Shit,
confidence.
I'm just gonna tell you that straight up. I was gonna beat their ass regardless.
So what you're saying is y'all gonna go undefeated again this year?
Yeah, it's no brainer. Unless we got 17 kids that break their legs, that's the only way they can win. I'm just being
17.
17.
I mean, and you know me, like I told you, I tell them people to their face, it ain't nothing shy about it, man. We gonna beat their ass. But like I told you, it wasn't. This year ain't about Balfour. We going to play them unweighted teams that's supposed to be good. Like, we want to find out how good we really are. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, we didn't win the showcase, but what I took from the showcase is that some of the kids that I got, they belong on that unweighted level. So, we got to go. And it ain't like, okay, you say, hey, let me handpick these 5, and I'm going to take them over here and take the other. Now, if these 5 belong on that level, the other 20 better get on this level that these 5 on, so they can go get better. Yeah. We ain't never gonna play down. Yeah. So my thing is like to all the people saying, well, why are you willing to take this team on the national level? Shit, why not? Why wouldn't I be willing to take them on the national level when I know that they're gonna beat the shit out of everybody that they're gonna play anyway?
And even if they don't, like, even if you don't, right? This is the limited mind that people have. Even if you go on the national level, and let's say you go out there and you get your ass kicked, guess what? It's way better than playing a 10-game season in Baffle and winning a Super Bowl and being proud. Like, those kids losing on a national level, to me,
is winning.
Is better than winning a Baffle Super Bowl.
I agree because, and I agree when you say that because, like, my thing is this is what people, what fella realize is, I think you grasp the aspect. Most coaches don't grasp the aspect. I think you learn more in the loss than you learn anything. Like, when you lose, it teaches you something. When I win, and like I said, he can sit here and test you. We can beat somebody by 40 points, and I'm going off, man, because that shit wasn't done right. He'll tell you. I mean, it ain't smoke and mirrors with me. I'm telling you, like, we'll beat them by 40. 7-on-7, I think we beat somebody 60. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 69-7 or some shit like that. And I was going off because I felt like that they shouldn't have got 7 or we should have had 80. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm like that. Because my goal is with this youth football and like with my training business, shit, I'm trying to get 100 kids to D1. Shit, the only way they can get to D1 is they got to go ready to prepare. Mm-hmm. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, them kids that's going into high school right now, and you don't got to work with me. You ain't got to work with me. You ain't got to work with Swan. You can work with any trainer. But them ones that's in high school right now that's sitting on their ass and knowing that, it's going to be a football season. I'm like Swan. I don't go by like, nah, it ain't going to be nothing. Oh, it's going to be a football season. And when it's a football season and it come back, you're going to be the same people that's behind trying to get in shape while, like you said, you got him rolling up in the 9th grade. And shit, I ain't going to lie, we got one goal. Shit, he trying to play on varsity. He tell me that's his goal, not my goal for him. He want to play on varsity. So when I tell you like this, and I'm like, hey, look out. Because I know what we gonna be capable of doing.
Yeah,
it's definitely those people who sitting on the couch right now thinking, oh man. Now on the younger levels, I don't know if it really matters, right?
Yeah.
But on the level that he's on the high school level, the junior high school level, on those levels, you got to be doing something. You can't come back and start July and think that, oh, I'm gonna just walk into high school. I'm gonna walk into this season next year and be better than people. It is some people right now losing scholarships that they're going to lose them and people are not going to know why they lost them. They're going to be like, what happened to this kid? Like, what happened to him between last year he was the number 6 receiver, or whatever in the state, and now he ain't even got, 500. Yeah, he's a tomato can. It's because he sat around through the whole coronavirus thing.
And ain't do nothing.
And didn't do nothing. And other people outworked him. So, work is key. I think I took that from, what Coach Keegan said. He, work, like we were, and I think this is probably why Chaz the way he is, we were built on work. Like, work, you got to do more. Whatever you're doing right now, that's not enough. You got to do more. And right now, I think the privilege of these kids is showing them that they don't have to, they don't have to work for anything. They see, everybody on TV, and I think we've seen the same thing. And I feel like I play football for a different reason, and I always say that I didn't play football for the right reasons because I just wanted to play football.
Yeah.
These kids get to do that, but we got to figure out how to give them that message. Like my sons don't play football because they think they need to put their mom in the house.
Yeah.
Or they need to buy daddy a new. You know what I'm saying? They don't play football to get out the hood.
Well, most kids don't. Andre right here beside you can ask him why he play. But I ain't gonna.
That's a good question. Why you play football?
Why you play football, Dre?
One of the main reasons because I want my mom to have a better life because she's done everything for me since I was little, and I was kind of disrespecting her, and I just love playing it too.
Yeah. What colleges do you have in mind?
LSU or Clemson.
Damn it, boy.
Hey, I tell them, look,
Dang,
man,
man.
that's the only way you gonna get there. You got to do the work.
Jaron said that because when I told him about you going to Clemson, I showed him the video. He was just like, "Oh my God, he's gonna go to Clemson. I know he's gonna go to Clemson." I was like, "Wow, I don't know anything about that yet." But he was at Clemson playing with the older kids, and he was doing real badass. He was like, "Oh, Dad, he's gonna go to Clemson." He's a big Clemson fan, and
Coach Hogerson, man, we out of there, man.
Huh?
I got to tell Coach Hogerson, we out of there, man.
So
he narrowed it down to 2, and we didn't make the list.
Yeah, but like I told him, and I tell him all the time because when I was going through the recruiting process, it's good to have them schools. It's great, you know what I'm saying? But but me and Swan can vouch for this. He already know. Once you start taking them trips. And you start taking them visits, it's going to change. You're going to be like, hey, man, look, all right, yeah, I said Clemson and what you call it.
Ole Miss is throwing the house at me.
God, dog, I'm going over here and seeing this. It plays a big part into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, this is what I think most people don't understand, the mindset of, me training, Swan training, you know what I'm saying? The mindset I'm trying to tell my kids is, all right, see, we grew up in Texas City. And Swan can vouch for this. We grew up in Texas City. So down there in Texas City, we ain't have nothing. I'm just gonna be real with you. We ain't have nothing. We used to go and do what we did, because we used to love to do it. So at the same exact time is his mindset behind training, he probably would never tell y'all this, but I'm gonna tell him because he think like me. His mindset is behind training is we gotta go get it out the mud. And what that means is at all costs, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna just say, like the trainers up here, some of these trainers up here in Clear Lake, some of the ones you see on Facebook, they make little Billy do a drill, and they be like, oh, okay, 30 minutes, you done. Now, my mindset is, and his mindset is we want to feel like we worked for something. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't never had nothing that came for free. So when we get that, I'm saying, look, what's going to be the best way to make these people feel like that they came in here and got to work and understand that they trying to get to their goal? His goal is that he want to get to Clemson or LSU. My goal is, hey man, just get the school paid for.
For real, whoever gonna give you that money.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point you touched on.
That's my mindset for him. You know what I'm saying? And I had that talks with him. Make sure that you know what I'm saying. Don't do it for me, cause my life already. I'm good with what I do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I got a degree. Like I was telling Swan the other day, I got a degree in architect design, baby. I can go make $100,000 a year anytime I want. I do this training shit because I love it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I like the development of the kids. I like to see kids develop and they go reach their goals and do what they got to do. That's why I do what I do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So at the same exact time, and he done seen it happen before. You can't come in my business and dictate nothing. If you come in there and think you're going to pay me $1 and think you're gonna tell me, oh, do this, oh, shit, you better walk back out the door. I'm just going to tell you. It ain't no dollar amount that's going to get me to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I'm going to do regardless.
I think it's a bit people don't understand that when you, when I'm training a kid, right, and I see him messing up, and the hour come, my mind don't go to I got to get that kid out of there. My mind go to he got to get this shit. Yeah. He got to get it because I'm responsible for him at that point in time. It ain't got nothing to do with the dollar amount, like you saying. It ain't got nothing to do with the money. It got something to do with my mindset. Said I told this kid I was gonna make him better. That's the agreement we made when you gave me whatever. It doesn't matter what. When you called me and said, I'm coming at 5:30, that was a contract between me and that kid that said at 5:30,
You're
You're mine.
you gonna from 5:30 to whatever time you finish, you're gonna be better. So if at 6:30 you're not getting it, I got a hard time letting you go home.
Hard time.
I got a hard time letting you just leave and say, oh, well, let me collect another. No, what about this one? Like, what about this kid? What about this step?
Yep.
What about this? Because next week, guess what? I've had a week worth of stuff to think about. I've had a week worth of stuff to do, and now you're a week worse. Like, you're not better than you were last week.
Like, and I feel like truth be told, like them people always talking about, you know, that you moved up to Pearland, man. I feel like this. I feel like we ain't moved to Pearland. We was chosen by Pearland. Pearland need us, man. You know, they need the mindset, man.
We ain't landed on Pearland. Pearland landed on us.
Man, they need the mindset up there, man. Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, I got clients from everywhere, and I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, some of my kids in Pearland, you know, they grew up, you know, Pearland a little wealthy than what you get down there in Texas City. Like, so at the same exact time is, you know, I feel like that they needed us. You know what I'm saying? They man, you done got everything you want. You know what I'm saying? Everybody saying yes. And here come Coach Chaz and these black Tims saying, no, you finna give me what I want. You gonna give me what I want now. Not what you want, you gonna give me what I want.
I don't care what
you know
you
what I'm
say.
saying? What you say, what you do.
I don't care if you don't like me.
I mean, it ain't nothing you can sit there and say or do. You know what I mean? But at the same exact time, it's like touching on him, I feel like, man, like, I feel like he really got it good. I do. I truly and honestly do, because, like, we fight. So don't think, you know, y'all got them kids. We fight every day. And we were fighting yesterday. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm big petty. I started telling my wife, man, you need to make him go to sleep. You need to make him take the game from a little early, this and that. This. I started doing all that. I'm petty. If I don't get what I want, I'm petty. Because at the same exact time is, you fighting me, and I'm trying to help you reach your goals. Not my goals. I done played D1 football. You done played D1. We done did this. Yeah. So we done been there, done that. You know, we did what we want. I mean, that's your goal to get that now,
bro,
man.
Chaz, bro. So, you know, I love to watch film. And anytime, I'm always watching film. Probably get on everybody in my house nerve. So the other day, I got this new thing that I'm doing. I'm watching film, and I'm breaking down. This is the kind of shit I do in my spare time. This is why I'm better at this shit than y'all. I'm watching film, and I'm breaking down the whole game. I'm going, okay, 1st and 10, they ran this.
Oh, that's what I do.
2nd and 3, they ran this.
Hey.
4th and 2, they ran this.
Oh,
but that's neither here nor there. I just gave y'all some games. Maybe y'all can be better at coaching.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Like, look, since you give him free game, you better go ask him about my Super Bowl chief in Texas City. I had who was a 16-play kid, where they line them at, how many plays they rotate them in, and when they came in. So, yeah, I know how you feel, baby.
So I'm watching film. I decide, I'm going to watch my old game. I say I'm going to watch myself. I'm going to grade myself, because I'm tough on these kids. Like, I am tough on these kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go back and grade yourself and see, you know, what the hell you was doing. Was you out there giving effort in the whole game? Was you out there missing? You know, what was you doing? I know we all miss blocks or whatever, so I'll get to watching the film. And I'm watching it with RJ and Royce. So one play, I pull out. Nobody out there, just me and the quarterback. We fooled everybody on the play. RJ, who are you even blocking? Okay. Next play is a pass play, and I kind of block the dude, and I get beat a little bit. You can't even pass block. Who are you, man? Like, who are you back here? Peanut Gallery? Like, these dudes, we watched about 20 minutes of the film. I had to turn it off, man. These dudes the biggest critics in the world. I'm like, dude,
in the world.
I'm like, you know, and as much as I want to like be aggravated by it, I'm proud of it, because that's exactly what I would do to them.
Yeah. No.
That is exactly, when you pull out there, you ain't block nobody. That's trash. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah. That is trash garbage. You ain't coached by me doing that trash. But when it's me, I'm like, oh, I'm on the D1. Shit, well, right there, your kid who you taught is telling your ass
what you did wrong.
what you did wrong.
So,
it made me mad at first, but I was like, you know what I'm saying? Who are you to talk to me that way? But
man, look, I ain't gonna lie, I don't even want to watch no old film. Like, I mean, you know, I got some old film at the house, but like I tell them already, like, it ain't no shame in my game. Look, you better than where I was. When I was in college, you better than me right now because, like I said, we ain't have nobody trying to help. You ain't have nobody trying to teach you what you teaching them right now.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You ain't do that.
Keegan touched on that earlier.
That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
ain't had that. I mean, that is a major part. Like because like somebody that like I'm gonna be real with you. It's not just because it's my child, but somebody that's gonna get him in high school, JJ, Bell, all. I mean, them kids, you know what I'm saying? They've been doing it since they was 9 years old. So shit, if
They're gonna get a workhorse.
man, look at that. If it was good, man, like that class that's in Tech City in 2024 is absolutely special.
Somebody about to blow that, ain't they?
Hey, absolutely
Somebody about to
special.
blow that.
When I
They
say
about to blow the
special,
whole-
I mean special. I'm talking about they got everything.
And that's what I gotta get it. We can't talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they absolutely they special, man. Like I mean, you got to look at it in 2 years. In 2 years, they gave up maybe 7 points. In their 8th grade year this past year, they gave up no points, and I scored everybody by like 253-0. I mean, come on, man. I mean,
Damn.
like they got. I mean, what you want? You got 2 6-foot DNs, 185. You got a 6'3" middle linebacker. Got a 100 you got a 200-pound running back. You got a fast slot that's probably 4'5", quick feet. You got another receiver that's out there 5'10". You got two. I mean, goddamn. I mean, what you want?
Hey, being one of the holders, the keepers of that last undefeated team, I'm ready to hand it off, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready to say, here y'all go, man. Tech City, y'all. Because right now, Tech City belong to me. I don't care what they do in Little League or none of that shit. Tech City is mine. We got the last title that matters there, like our team. And it's time for us to hand that over, man. We shouldn't hold on to that. We shouldn't be 50 years old talking about the last time we won was 1999. No, we shouldn't be talking about that in 2049.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to hand that off, man. We need to hand that off, Andre. You ready to take it? I got it, right? I hand it to you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, hey, whatever it takes, man, y'all go make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Don't let a coach, don't let a scheme, don't let a nothing. Playmakers gonna make plays, man. Y'all make the plays. Yeah, I'm pretty sure y'all dealing with some coaching deficiencies right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But y'all still making the plays. So keep making plays.
Hey, I'm gonna just keep it real, man. I tell anybody, hey, I ain't no secret. My son can't go to no goddamn school where they gonna try to run the eye and they gonna think they gonna throw the ball 4 times and we gonna be sad. We ain't going there. I'm just telling you. We ain't going there, baby. Hey, we ain't going there.
Free agency market is
We ain't going there. We ain't going there. I'm just letting you know straight up. Like it ain't nothing I won't tell nobody to their face.
You
man.
high school coaches, you listening?
We ain't going. We ain't going nowhere with it. Cause I mean, like I said, what I got is like he the humble side. Like you see, he don't never say nothing. You mean put him on Fortnite, then you see the real Andre. You know what I'm saying? But like as far as like when it comes, like we ain't doing that.
I'll
bro.
tell you
I'm
what,
sorry.
man. I've been around him before, especially in 707. And when I first got to talk to him, because Jaron wanted to take a picture with you, I was like, "That's Andre," because it's like the first time I met Dylan, Superman. It's like, that's Superman. That's that kid everybody talks about. And then when I first met Andre, I was like, that's that Goofy. That's Andre.
I told him,
He's
Kenny,
quiet.
but we can't talk about that. He told me before he came in here we wasn't going to talk about that. And then he said,
Yeah, I know. He told me to.
he told me
just saying,
we ain't going to talk about that.
But I'm
That's the
just
one
saying,
thing we're
that
not going to
one
talk
thing-
about. Then
but
he come in here and say
I'm
this
just
shit.
telling you, I'm just putting it out there that hey, I'm just telling you, we ain't finna run no powwow. Shit, I'm sorry. We ain't
Hey,
run.
man.
Send me a message. Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm just telling you,
Let's
man.
get this question. Andre, you got it yet, man? We're going to call some random people.
I don't know.
What you want to ask?
Let's ask.
Let's just look up. We got the internet right here. We can look up world's craziest questions.
That man crazy, man.
You going to ask him,
I think
Andre?
we're going back next week, man.
Hey, I think, Swan, look, I ain't gonna even lie. Just to touch on the subject.
Is cereal soup?
I'm not about to play with you.
Is cereal soup? There we go. Right
It's
there.
cereal soup. You want to finish talking about what you were
Go
talking
ahead,
about?
Chaz.
Go ahead,
I
Chaz.
told him, and just on the note, man. I mean, me and you talked about it when I was earlier today. Like, people want to know why like trying to get into high school coaching. Said I want to see if if I really know what I'm talking about. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I believe I do. You know, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. There ain't nothing nobody can say. You can say, hey man, Chad, you got 50 losses, man. Look, man, hey man, look, it don't. I got 50 losses, but I feel like, look, when it comes to teaching, I'm one of the best to do it.
Hey man, I really feel like, you know, dude, I'll be this close to saying, because I love coaching, I'll be this close to jumping into it.
Well,
but I'm like, man,
that's why I want to do it, man. Like
I feel like people we're gonna have to earn our credit, which is right. You know, that's
Wherever
right.
y'all go, let me know that we can send
But
you
I definitely would like to go. I definitely would like to do that for a few years of my life and be like, just jump.
there's some coaches that I've seen coach, and you guys know way more than I do, but I think they can coach at that level, and I think you guys can coach at that level. I think there's some other coaches in Baffle that can coach at that level. There's some other coaches around, like Billy. He can coach definitely at that level. There's not too many, but there's some.
I told you, I just want to see it. Like, man, like I just want to see. I want to experience it. I want to understand, like, because I ain't gonna lie. Like when I watch high school, I ain't gonna lie. I really haven't been watching high school football. Like as far as like Tech City and all the ones like that, because you know they just a sad case to watch.
Because you don't like the Power Eye.
I mean, no, but like no, and just some of this, just looking at them, like, you know, like the schools in our area, you know, and I be wondering, like, when a DB get beat, like, okay, say a DB get beat, I look at them and I'm like, man, dang, what's so hard to teach this kid how to do this, and this, you know what I'm saying? But at the same sense, I understand, because high school kids, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love all my kids that I train, but high school kids are the worst, because they done already picked up bad habits. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Them little ones coming up from the ground up, well, you teaching them everything that they gonna know. You know what I'm saying? You instilling them work ethic. You understand me? But most coaches, like I said, most coaches they got them high school kids, and I can understand why some of them high school coaches is on here and they don't want to deal with some of them kids. Cause I kick them out the gym faithfully. If you think you know everything, you don't need me.
Yeah.
I'm
Period.
sorry, you don't need me.
Hey man, I got another question.
This guy with the questions.
How many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
No, I don't.
Hey man,
What
call
you
a number.
you doing?
Call a number.
You calling it, Julio?
The random number?
Random
Hold on, let me
number.
look. I'm gonna look at my phone.
And we need Junior in here for the Spanish.
Oh man, that shit was hilarious. On my phone about to die.
You should call that same lady back.
Hello.
We should call her back.
Man, that lady gonna find out where y'all at. She
Chaz,
tracking y'all.
MJ or LeBron?
All right. Oh.
Man, look, don't get.
Oh, we don't got enough time for that.
Yeah,
debate.
man. I ain't gonna lie to
Hey,
you.
we're gonna get you guys back on.
I don't like LeBron. So I mean, I think LeBron is a crybaby. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm not gonna.
Dre?
There it is.
MJ or LeBron?
I'm not gonna sit there.
LeBron?
MJ.
MJ.
Oh,
I'm not-
my man.
smart. That's
I'm
why
not
it's good
gonna
at
sit
football.
there and debate that, man. I mean, that ain't even.
It's not.
Is it really a debate?
It's really not a debate.
I'm
to be
about to
had.
say, is it really a debate, man? Like, but I'm not gonna
It's
debate
not.
it.
I love it.
mean, hey, give me. To me, the better comparison is Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Because Kobe had that killer mindset like Jordan.
Yes.
LeBron. I mean, see, Kobe and Jordan, if they can go for 80, they gonna get 80. LeBron, he gonna give you 26, 5 and 5. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted somebody else to be the star that night. You know what I mean? Like, so. No.
Man, we
don't want to ruffle any more feathers.
Yeah, they gonna
do
start
that,
crying.
man.
His fans gonna start crying in the comments in just a second.
Hey, man.
Hey, I got a number for you, Julio. 713
Hold on. Okay.
377
We need-
1443.
We need to get you guys back on when how many callers? Just talk about football.
Yeah, we was late.
Yeah, we was late today. We apologize.
All right, you ready?
Yep,
Let's
let's
take
go.
control of this one.
Which question are we asking? Andre, you got it.
The chicken one.
The chicken one. You're gonna ask me, or want us to ask?
It doesn't matter.
You got it.
You got it, Chief.
All right. See if to answer. I need to do a private number. They'll be calling me next day. Business.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
I thought we were about to leave a message.
All right, we're gonna give it 5 people. 5 people.
Oh, Chris Blake said call 281-330. 8004. Mike Jones.
Good shit. Who's this?
Here we go. 832.
Hey man, we ought to see if that's still Mike Jones' number.
I
Though,
was
you
about
know
to-
what I'm
I was
saying?
about to
It's
call
not.
right
It's a thing. It's going.
Change it.
No, it's going to answer,
Okay.
but it's not Mike Jones. We should call Trey Young again.
We should go. Well, he ain't gonna answer.
What's the number? 832.
330. It's 281-330.
8004.
Man.
Mike Jones, who?
Disconnected. Busy.
Oh,
Somebody's
man.
calling.
Mike Jones ain't pay his phone
It's
bill.
disconnected, just like Mike Jones' career. Disconnected.
Let's do 832.
Let's try this. 972-346-3768. I'm just pulling these numbers off the internet, by the way.
The number you have reached, 9.
Pick a Cali numbers. There's 2 hours behind, so it'll be 8.
Hey, these are supposed to be Deion Sanders numbers. This is landline. Deion Sanders' house phone. 972
Wow.
299 0000. Oh, my phone down.
Dial this number. Oh.
You next.
You got a chance. How many chickens?
Oh, you said Cali because Cali's still
It's
it's
2
early.
hours behind, yeah.
Sorry, the mailbox is full.
That might be his phone number.
Let me call the one Kenny put on there.
Dial this number. 951.
Hold on.
This a random so y'all don't know who gonna answer. 951 262 3062. 3062 and see who gonna answer. Hey, so y'all look. Good luck.
This number is not currently available.
Damn.
Goodbye.
That was short and sweet.
Oh man, y'all tell us one of y'all's friends to call and see if they'll answer the phone.
Yeah, I'll do a random. We were having luck with the 832 numbers last week.
I don't see how we can hit a number and we can't just find a number. Like I don't know how.
You have reached non-working number. Announcement for.
Man, nobody pay their damn phone bill no more.
Man, I know how y'all all at home.
Hey, what's up with Jordan running a 34.38?
Jordan ran a 4.340. That's what I heard.
That's what I heard too, man.
You think you guys believe that?
I don't know, man. You know,
He
hey,
was pretty quick with the
Man.
ball.
I don't buy it.
Not a 3.
Hey man, hey people, hey look, I'm glad y'all got on that. Let's talk about this for. You know, when people run a 4.5, that's fast. You know that, right? So saying 4.3, that's extremely fast. Let's dial. Here you go. 951
Hold on.
262
951
3062.
951
Two-
362.
262?
262 3062.
951, right?
951 262 3062.
Merry Christmas! This is Santa Claus, and you have reached my personal hotline. We have been very busy making all of those toys
was total
to
random.
deliver on Christmas Day. I want you to know that your family loves you very much, and so do I.
There you go,
So
man.
be good, and don't forget to always listen to your parents. When you hear the tone, please leave me your Christmas gift wishes and holiday cheer. And remember, kids, I know who's been naughty and nice. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you soon.
On that note, we're going to end the show.
Hey man, Merry Christmas.
All of our guests, appreciate everything. Thank you for taking our calls.
I'm trying to give away $20, man, for this phone call. Ain't
Andre
nobody
is
wanna-
our third student athlete of the week. Andre, Good luck. Best of luck. We'll talk to you soon. I'm sure we'll be covering you more in the near future. Chaz, thanks for coming. I know it's kind of late, but thanks for coming. We're gonna get you guys back on.
Hey man, y'all be careful out here, man. They about to open the city back up, man. Y'all go out here. Don't flock to everything at once. Be careful,
man. Let it marinate.
I don't want nobody to get the coronavirus.
Let it marinate.
Hey, anti-corona over here.
Yeah.
Anti-corona.
Hey, if you're going to go out, man, go get you a workout with Coach Chaz first.
There you go.
And then go out and then instantly go work out with Coach Chaz.
Yeah, man. Go bring him over there, man. We get it out of him. You know, we'll figure it out.
Where are your locations at now?
I'm on Pearland and 35 at Grind Sports, and then I'm also in Lamar. So,
there it is.
For the people that say I don't give back to my community,
Hey, man.
Hey.
Appreciate y'all coming on, man. Andre, man, good luck with everything.
We'll be talking soon, man.
All right, thank you.
Everybody else, have a great week. Be sure to share all of our posts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Instagram. Go give us a follow at the Checkdown Podcast HTX.
Wine Cooler Poppy.
Wine Cooler Poppy. What's your Instagram again?
Dre_05_gold feet.
Remember Gold Feet. I promise you, in about 5 years, you're gonna look back to this interview and you're gonna say that kid was on the Checkdown Podcast HTX. Cool. You good?
I'm good. See y'all next
Julio,
week.
appreciate everything. Junior, appreciate everything. Chaz, you guys be safe on the way home.
Go Cowboys.
Have a great week. Go Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys lost. So
Oh,
next week,
The
we
Bucks.
need somebody for the Bucks to play.